Welcome to the Boise State Esports Arena, and this weekend we are covering the Oregon State High School Esports Championships. We have got 3 matches all set up for you today. We're going to be starting out in Rocket League, then moving on to Smash Bros, and finally rounding out with Mario Kart. Sure to be an action-packed, fun-filled day. I'm your host, Jacob Palmer. I'm joined by Colin Carpenter. Call all of the action for you here today. Colin, for me personally, I'm already feeling so old here, because I didn't have high school esports when I was growing up, but I'm told you competed for your high school team. So tell us a little bit about that and what's at stake for these, what's it feel like for these players right now playing for their high schools, about to have a chance to win state championships?
It's true. When I was in high school, last year actually, I competed for my high school's Valorant, Overwatch 2, and Smash Bros teams. And we ended up having both our varsity Valorant teams, which I was not on, but I was on the varsity Overwatch team, and we competed in this very building at States last year, actually. So it's a really unique experience. It's really fun. It gives a chance for kids that maybe aren't into more like traditional activities, such as many common sports you may see, to really have some competition of their own. So it's a great opportunity. This year, in fact, I was invited back to my old high school to help coach, and we've brought out a couple of teams to the state competition here happening in a couple weeks. So it's been a really great experience.
That's really cool. And taking a look at the high school teams that we've got ready to go up, we're going to be starting out with Willamette Connections versus Wilsonville in Rocket League. Then we'll move on to Smash Bros. North Bend versus Silverton, and then North Bend will make a reappearance versus Siuslaw in Mario Kart at 5 p.m. So sure to be a fun day all around. We're going to start out with that Rocket League match. It's going to be a best of 7 with the Willamette Wild, and I actually feel like the way that they've positioned this is a little bit serendipitous, because I was looking up Willamette Connections Academy, based out of the small town of Siuslaw, Oregon, in Lynn County, and I actually grew up in Lynn County for the first 12 years of my life, so it's probably a little bit of a homecoming for me, fitting that they're on my side of the arena now. I'm not trying to lump you into rooting for Wilsonville. I'm just saying you gave your background. I have a little bit of background that connects me to Willamette Wild.
That's awesome. I'm not personally from Oregon. I'm not very familiar with the area, but it sounds like a great area.
Very rainy. If you can get past the 5 days of rain and then the other 2 days of the week are overcast, then yeah, it is a very pretty area. Willamette Connections versus Wilsonville, and we're going to have Soul, Extreme, Salazar, and Wolfer for Willamette Connections.
It looks like for Wilsonville, we have Poseidon, Hazel, and Blukey.
In case you're wondering where Wilsonville is, since I gave the background on Willamette Connections, Wilsonville is a town just south of Beaverton in the Portland metro area. Has its own commuter rail stop for those who need to get into the big city. So kind of 2 different sections. They're both Western Oregon teams. We're going to see a little bit more representation from Eastern Oregon as Bend comes into the North Bend comes into the mix in the next 2 games. But this is purely a West Coast battle. So this is west of the Cascades. As they were saying, all the stereotypes about rain constantly, that's what you get here. With these 2 teams, kind of the evergreen part of the state, lots of vegetation. I remember I visited Western Oregon a little bit while ago. After I had lived here in Boise for a while, I was like, oh yeah, moss exists. I have not seen moss in the longest time, but yeah, you'll see that over where you get a lot of rain.
Yeah, we definitely don't see much of that here. The only place in Oregon I've been is Bend, but it looks like we're getting into the game now.
And this will be a full best of 7 game. Going to be starting out on Manifield and then moving on over to Forbidden Temple. We are doing the same stages as RLCS. And here we go. Both teams loaded in for the championship. Lukey already trying to put a shot on goal. Hazel tried the follow-up, didn't quite find it. Poseidon with a stop in midfield. Now moving back up the field, putting more pressure on Willamette Connections, and Wilsonville will be first on the board with Poseidon.
Wow, what an early goal for Willamette.
Oh, Wilson.
My bad. I apologize.
They both start with W. I don't blame you. It can sometimes be tough. And they're both a shade of blue, too. So, kind of cut from the same cloth a little bit in terms of pure aesthetics, but maybe not in skill, as Poseidon puts another one on the goal off the crossbar, follow up by Hazel, and it is blocked. But so far, just about everything we've been seeing is clear side control and pressure from Wilsonville.
Another shot. That's another goal for Wilsonville. They're on fire at the start of this match, clearly bringing the heat. They want this.
They definitely do want it. They see the commit from the goalie. Another one is caught up with one of Wilsonville's players in a bit of interference. So all three of their team members are really working to make this a cohesive package. Another kickoff win for them and a quick shot on goal by Blue Key. Wilsonville up to 3.
It's going to do it. I believe that takes up to 1 goal for each player on the side of Wilsonville. Looking at the stat board a little bit.
I don't know if you want to look at it as a team ace. I mean, this is Rocket League, not Valorant, but it's always good to get each player on the board. But this kickoff, a little bit looking more in favor of Willamette Connections. Trying to drive it in, tries to juke out Blue Key and gets a shot past him, but it goes into the post. And it just dribbles on back. Looks maybe like a little bit of overextension from Willamette.
If the goals keep continuing at this rate, this is going to be a long, maybe short, maybe a little bit long best of 7 just because they're not running the clock.
But sometimes also I've seen in best of 7, some teams get off to really explosive starts and then wane a little bit as it goes on. Sometimes a team just gets off to a slow start and then in the next few games it's like watching something completely different. But as for right now, Wilsonville just continues running up the score. 5-0 in just a minute.
I'm excited to see what they can do with the rest of this 4 minutes. Maybe Willamette can do something, maybe bring it back a little bit, but it's definitely got to be devastating to go 0-5 in the first minute of a game.
Poseidon shot up and to the right. Stream trying to get some sort of clear. Soul will take it to the other side of the field. Blue Sky elevates the contest with him, takes it away from him. Shot blocked by Extreme. Another shot in front of the goal of Willamette. Soul trying to get possession. Blue Key just comes right on in. There hasn't really been any sort of dribbling or ball possession by Willamette because Wilsonville is just stealing it left and right.
Another beautiful shot on the goal. They are not stopping anytime soon.
Three minutes, 34 seconds left in game 1. Ball head off to the side. Still up for grabs in mid. Hazel gets one touch. Blue Key moving up into the corner. Hazel clearing out the field a little bit. Gets the demo onto Extreme. Shot set up in mid. No follow-up quite yet. Ball trickles on back to mid. Poseidon stops it from gaining any more ground on him. Hazel pass to Blue Key. Hazel will take it himself. Into the corner, preventing the follow-up. Oh, that looked spicy with that double elimination from Poseidon, just trying to clear everyone off the field, but they didn't take the shot. But still, even if they're not taking the shot, they've still got firm possession of this ball and are just more than content to let the timer run out or put another one on it. Soul blocks it.
Willamette definitely stepping up their defenses in the later minutes of this game after a little bit of a rocky start.
Ball going back on down, ground level. Willamette Connections trying to mount some sort of offensive play. They've got a bit of side control, maybe a goal as Soul goes for it. Isn't able to find it, had to go up 1v2. Now Wilsonville pushes back. Willamette puts a shot on goal, and that'll be the first one. They will not allow this to be a clean sweep. Might be the first step of a very long journey, but nice job recognizing that Wilsonville too far rotated up, takes advantage of it, and gets one on the board.
All right, now that they're on the board, maybe Willamette can mount a little bit of an offense here. Hopefully get some more goals.
Maybe they could. What a kickoff, and Soul goes for the goal right afterwards. Hazel, though, dunks it down back toward their goal, and what a follow-up by Blue Key. The team play puts us up to a Brazil in terms of a scoreline, 7-1.
Looking at the scoreboard, the disparity between the amount of shots on goal from Wilsonville versus Willamette is just absolutely devastating.
If you look at it another way, though, 100% completion rate from Willamette Connections. The one shot they did get turned into a goal. So it might just be, you know, trying to get some sort of possession on the field. Maybe Wilsonville, if you push back on them, get in their faces a little bit. Their defense, you know, they haven't really had to employ it that much, so they might be a little bit rusty in that regard. And look at this, Wolf pushing it in, and just, I told you. Second
right.
shot on goal, goal number 2.
You were right. I stand corrected. A beautiful shot from Sol there, making the score 2-7 with 1:15 remaining. Things are looking a little bit grim for Willamette, but it's definitely doable. We saw the amount of goals Wilsonville scored in the first half of the game.
Technically is. I mean, a little over 1 minute for 5 goals. That's extremely difficult to pull off, but sometimes in situations like this, it's just narrowing down that margin, starting to get the morale up for your team. Every goal can help.
For sure, for sure.
Wild put a shot back up toward Wilsonville's goal, and the follow-up coming in. They'll score their 3rd.
All right.
3 for 3 on the offensive pushes.
Willamette bringing it back a little bit. I like to see it. This is definitely looking more and more doable. 50 seconds left and 4 goals remaining, but it's not impossible. It's not impossible. They just got to do a little under a goal every 10 seconds here.
I mean, maybe they can. Look at Extreme. He sets another one on, gets a hat trick for himself. And
right.
We've got a very different game all of a sudden.
Hat trick on both sides of the field. I don't believe I've seen that before. This is a very high-scoring game. 40 seconds left and 3 goals to go to tie it up for Willamette. Can they do it?
Extreme looking over the ball. Puts one back. Poseidon will push it off to the side. Any sort of disruption that Wilsonville can get is just the win condition right now. Air dribble between 2 players to let the ball, a little bit too far off to the right. We'll reset, get ready to head back in. Sol to center it back. Poseidon doesn't quite find it. And Wilsonville will still win, but I mean, what a rally by Willamette.
Truly valiant effort to bring it back. I would love to see some of that fire go into the next game.
Well, something that's really occurring to me as the ball hits the ground and we end the first game. I'm sure you, as a Smash player, and we got Smash on deck, so don't go away after this. We'll get into that tournament. But I'm sure you've heard the term glass cannon thrown out a little ways here. You know,
Absolutely.
Very great on offense, but you manage to get one little chip, one little toehold in on defense, and things fall apart. That might be the case, just based off of that one game, that might be the case for Wilsonville, because every single time Willamette pushed up against their goal, they found one. It was just that Wilsonville got off to such an explosive start that the margin of goals was too big to overcome.
Absolutely. I think Willamette needs to maybe beef up their defenses a little bit, get more of the ball control on their side of the field so they have more opportunities for that amount of goals. Because we've seen, clearly, they can make shots. And Wilsonville's defense, you know, they were letting shots through. So as long as Willamette can keep the ball out of their own goal, hopefully they can get some more opportunities to take some shots.
It also comes down to also being able to make sure you win those kickoff, those initial 50s. Making sure you consistently win those, putting your team up in a good position right off the bat can also be a huge windfall. Just because your other 2 teammates are kind of going off for boost and not contesting initial kickoff doesn't mean they shouldn't be ready to contest on the ball should the other team manage to get the first touch on it.
All right, let's see if Willamette can break.
Oh, they can. They win the first kickoff. That's exactly what I was talking about. But Hazel, look at this air dribble. Goes for the flip reset as well, taking it all the way across the field. Just goes a little bit off to the left, but somebody's been hitting the practice field. They certainly have some dexterity in mid-air. Poseidon also goes for a bit of a musty, but Sol sneaks it in under them. Well, all of these aerial acrobatics happened Soul just says, you know what, I'm just going to take what's a sure thing, a shot right into the goal. You keep doing your flip resets and your musties in there. I'll just be happy to get the one thing that actually matters, a goal.
All right, and that's another goal in the first 30 seconds, making that consistent for both of these games. Definitely some fast-paced games today. I love it. I'm hoping Mario Kart and Smash are the same way later today, but as for Rocket League,
It's that request is being made a little bit harder because things now getting even more spicy. Wilsonville put up their first shot on goal. What a nice little pinch from Poseidon, sliding it right past the post into the goal. 4 minutes 21 seconds. We got an even game. And everyone going for the kickoff, a 2v2, and it goes slightly in favor of Willamette. We'll see if they can take this initial bit of side control. Work up extreme. Oh, a double commit on the save. They managed to save it. But Wilsonville is fighting back furiously.
All returning to the side of Wilsonville. Oh, nope, I stand corrected immediately. All right, things just seem to slow down a little bit. Both teams just kind of passing the ball back and forth between the field, not really finding any opportunities.
Maybe an opportunity here for Willamette. Oh, shot just a bit too far wide. But much more competitive game, 3 minutes, 35 seconds. The drive being stopped by Wilsonville. Soul will then take possession up midfield, go for one touch. It's deflected by Blukey. Hazel with the dribble upfield, not too much disruption, and what a demo by their teammate Hazel, and Poseidon coming on in, laser focus like a torpedo onto the lone goalie. That's exactly how you want to do it. Wilsonville back into the lead.
All right, we have about 3 minutes left, 3 goals on the board. Willamette just needs to find more offensive opportunities, I think. They've clearly buffed up the defense a little bit. They've worked out the wrinkles. You know, this isn't 7 goals on the board already for Wilsonville like it was last game. So they're doing a much better job in that regards, but they just need to get the ball on the other side of the field more often. Winning those kickoffs is definitely a big factor in that.
Double commit by Willamette. They do manage to get the save, but I'm a little concerned seeing that, especially since Hazel, you go in with that all-in mentality, and you don't divide and conquer, and that's what's going to happen to you. Both them commit past midfield. Absolutely no one. Extreme kind of realizes too late on the rotation. That's something that needs to be communicated to your team, whether you're pushing up or holding back.
Again, we look at the disparity of these amount of shots on goal. It's just, Willamette is not getting the ball on the other side of the field like they need to.
Another shot placed on goal by Poseidon, and now things are really starting to, we're really starting to see a huge lead be brought up by Wilsonville.
Again, Wilsonville winning the kickoff. And another goal.
I was telling you, it's those kickoffs. If you get that initial bit of side control, what have we been saying for Wilsonville? They're a very offensively heavy team. They can be scored on defense, but if they get that little bit of momentum right off the kickoff, they're a force to be reckoned with.
Absolutely. Just, again, racking up the points so fast. It's a mirror image of last game almost. What a save, what a save. All right, the ball is on the side of the field of Wilsonville. Maybe Willamette is going to be able to find an opportunity here.
Soul, tries to get one back. I mean, just putting it down to a 3-goal game. We're down to the 2-minute mark, and at 30 seconds a goal, it's still within the realm possibility. Oh, what a musty being put out there by Hazel, but doesn't quite find the goal. But I was saying 30 seconds per goal, that's enough for Willamette to mount a comeback, but that last minute deflect by Poseidon putting a wrench in that plan.
As time drags on, it's looking more and more dire for Willamette. We've seen they can open up Wilsonville. They just gotta win these kickoffs. All right, Another goal on the board for Willamette. It's doable. Again, it's going to be challenging if they want to take this game from Wilsonville, but it's definitely doable. It's happened in the past. They just need to start winning these kickoffs like we've been saying.
Poseidon, one shot off the wall, keeps going up, sets it up for Blue Key, doesn't manage to find the final push. Moving it up the wall, Soul gets away from him, but nope, Blue Key still being pretty good in terms of interference and gets the bump onto the goalie. I was just praising their interference ability, and hey, if you can't get a demo, get a solid bump. Sees Extreme, gets him out of the way, and that's an open goal.
Great display of teamwork there. And yeah, this is looking insurmountable for Willamette here. We've got 2 hat tricks on the board for Wilsonville this game. If I were in the position of Willamette, I would just start thinking about next game. This one is pretty much a lost cause at this point. So they need to start thinking, what can we do different at kickoff? What can we do to get the ball on the side of the field of Wilsonville?
Kind of only in the past, in the kind of the latter half of the game, have things really start to be a blowout for Wilsonville. It was very competitive at the start. Willamette actually getting the first goal, but now that Wilsonville has that bit of momentum, they'll just keep running up the score. Sets it off for Blue Key. The follow-ups for each team have been really good, so I got to give them credit for that. They have been really good at having always kind of a second, third person there to shoot. Keep the shots going. If one goalie contests, then score it when they're still in midair and can't recalibrate themselves. Poseidon, quick shot, and you push too far up. That's what's going to happen.
And that's going to be 9 on the board for Wilsonville. 30 seconds remaining in the match.
Everyone past the midfield mark exactly when that ball makes contact with the front bumper. And it's kind of a simple equation. That plus that is going to equal a goal scored on you.
30 seconds remaining. It's 2-9. Again, Willamette just needs to start thinking about next game. What can we do different? What can we do better?
Blue Key shot high in the air. Nope. Kind of gets away from him, but at this point, I mean, it's not like they need to score another goal. Huge margin onto Wilsonville yet again. They'll go up 2-0 and are now halfway to claiming the state title. The weather may be 60, overcast, and rainy currently right now in Wilsonville, but it's sunny skies as far as the game itself is concerned for Wilsonville.
Absolutely. Bringing it to a clean 2-0 for now in our series. They just need to take 2 more maps. That just means Willamette has 2 more opportunities to figure out what exactly is going wrong.
And we go on to DFH Stadium for our 3rd game. Could put Wilsonville up to the match point. I still also, we kind of touched on it at the very beginning, it feels a little bit awkward, these 2 teams. I just want to say, totally an aside, not related to the gameplay, but I just have to say this because I calls them as I sees them. You've got Wilsonville and Willamette, the Wild versus the Wildcats, light blue versus dark blue.
It's definitely
there are a lot of really weird coincidences here. It's a match of the W's, I suppose, the blue W's. Both located in the western half of Oregon, and West also starts with a W. There's something here. Okay, I think I'm losing my mind.
Ultimately, both teams are competing to take the W. Who is the better W?
See, that's why you're up here, Colin. That's why they pay you the big bucks. I like it. You take it and you run with it. All right, back to a little bit of seriousness. We head down to DFH Stadium. Good kickoff start for Wilsonville. Oh, back on over toward Willamette. They'll find a block. Move over to the side toward Soul. All
right, we've gone the first 10 seconds without seeing a goal. It's a miracle.
Yep. That is a good milestone, considering how things have been. Goes for a flip reset, doesn't quite find the goal. Willamette looking to get a bit of breathing room, blocked by Blue Key right in mid, and he puts a shot on goal, and Wilsonville back into the lead.
All right, Willamette needs to stop this momentum before it even gets started. Wilsonville has a little bit going for them right now with the first goal on the board in under 30 seconds. If Willamette continues to let this happen, it's gonna be another blowout if they just let Wilsonville keep scoring.
Low, high in the air, not going to even touch the backboard. Soul gets possession, moves up. Ooh, that's a huge breakaway by Soul. Can they get a quick one on goal? They center it up, and the follow-up comes through, but it's a second too late. And now Wilsonville going to gain all of that territory back.
The 1 minute mark in the match, 1 point on the board for Wilsonville. And there's going to be a second one. A goal from Poseidon.
Nice little call out on the redirect by Hazel. Allows Poseidon to adjust his shot. Get the goal. 2-0, 3:48 left. Kickoff slightly in favor of Wilsonville. They'll continue pushing forward. Hazel gets it all the way toward the goal. Blue Key on the follow-up to Poseidon. Almost got a third one.
It's going to be a demo from Soul. Finally getting the ball on the other side of the field a little bit. And it's right back over to Willamette.
Ooh, Poseidon yet again finds one. 3-0, 3 minutes, 25 seconds.
All right, we're nearly at the 2 minute mark in the match, and it is a clean 3-0 for Wilsonville right now. Willamette needs to get some momentum.
With Soul! Almost got one right off the kickoff. Uh-oh. Okay, so fresh off the respawn is going to be able to stop potential disaster there. He was the last line of defense for Willamette. Soul goes in. Off of the back post. Oh, that's so close. That was gift wrapped for him. This one also a good opportunity. They'll find this one, make it a 3-1 game.
All right, they're on the board now. This is looking more and more doable for Willamette. They're finding some opportunities to get the ball on their side of the field. They've started winning kickoffs. Let's see if they can keep this up. There it is again.
Blue Key takes possession. Get rammed right into. Ball trickles back to midfield. Hazel, full on boost. And moving up, using an awful lot of boost and gonna get demoed for good measure. Poseidon, a shot just a little bit off to the left. Still very doable for Willamette Connections. There's still plenty of time.
2 minutes remaining, two goals.
Extreme.
Looking very doable for Willamette. They just need to stop Wilsonville from getting any opportunities to put the ball on their side of the field.
Oh, it's gonna drop right down right here. Nope.
Not quite.
Lukey has too much possession. Flip resets aplenty. Look at him go all the way into the crossbar. No follow-up, but huge possession. Soul not even going to take it for an air dribble. Double commit, actually triple commit by Wilsonville. They all went in, but the ball's at too narrow an angle for it to be scored. That was a very nice opportunity that could have been there for Willamette. Oh, everyone goes flying past it. But it's still a good position for Wilsonville.
Ball rolls right past the goal there. We have about a minute left in our match. Willamette still needs 2 more goals to even things up here, and then an additional one to take the game from Wilsonville, who is sitting comfortable 2 points ahead right now.
Stream off to the side. Continues. Had a bit of a triple commit by Wilsonville. They were pretty bunched up there in their own goal, but they've made back all that territory, back in offensive scoring position. But it's still 1-3. We haven't seen the huge landslide here that we saw in the first 2 games. Willamette putting up a much better defense, and Seoul, opportunity, needs to score here, and that's saved by Hazel. I think is going to be the final nail in the coffin.
It is looking more and more like it. 20 seconds left in the match. The ball is on the wrong side of the field for Willamette here. And 2 more goals to even things up. 10 seconds now. It is looking insurmountable right now.
Poseidon, quick. Okay, this is going to be one heck of a kickoff.
If they score off the kickoff here.
They need to, or at least keep it up in the air. And we've seen that Wilsonville has definitely been the more adept team at air dribbling, but it's not out of the realm of possibility for Willamette Connections. Up, yeah, now it's got to stay in the air. They got to move in. Nope,
And
they
that's
lose it,
gonna do it.
and Wilsonville will get their 3rd win, making the Portland Metro right now very happy, or for those of you watching in the alternate universes, Boston, Oregon. True story. 2 settlers who founded the Portland Metro area. One wanted it to be named Portland because he was from Maine. The other wanted it to be named Boston because he was from Massachusetts. And a coin flip decided it all. So
A coin flip.
Yep. So it very well, yeah. So there are alternate universes out there right now where the Boston metro area is very happy right now. But in our universe, Portland might just be looking, Wilsonville might be looking at a 4-0 sweep. They could have a clean sweep for the state champions here, but this was the closest game we've seen yet. Everything's been kind of narrowed down. And Willamette Connections, it might not be out of the realm of possibility for them to start on the long, arduous road for a reverse sweep. It's hard to do, but I've seen it happen.
And the pressure is on right now. 1 more loss means it's over. They get 2nd place, which is still a respectable place. 2nd place is really good, but obviously they want that 1st place trophy.
And we'll head on down to Utopia for what could possibly be the final match of this best of 7. Wilsonville just needs 1 more, and they'll lock it away.
You know, we've seen plenty of offensive capabilities from Wilsonville. They've been opened up on defense a little bit, but if they can keep the ball on the other side of the field, I think they've got this in the bag pretty much.
So I gotta say, Utopia looking quite spiffy with all the blues, the blue tile and everything. I always like custom team colors on Utopia. I just think the brickwork makes it look very attractive. But aside from me looking as pure aesthetics, Wilsonville wants to focus on the prize, already starting a volley toward the goal. Hazel will stop it. Gets another air dribble. Hazel had the first air dribble and now goes for the second. Soul blocks. Lukey setting up another. He just takes it himself. What a narrow angle, but he finds it.
Beautiful shot from Wilsonville there. And that may be the beginning of the end for Willamette here in this game. We've seen once Wilsonville really puts the pressure on the match, it's tough for Willamette to make that comeback. They've had some close calls, some close matches. Okay.
The kind of kickoff goal they needed last game, but they'll take one this game, sure thing.
All
it's
right.
to tie the game. Yeah, nice contest off of Wolfgang.
All right, and it is even. 30 seconds in. Pressure's kind of taken off Willamette for a little bit here.
Oh, nice little bit of bumping there right into Poseidon to disrupt him. Always like seeing that. Hazel starts the air dribble, gets double touch, doesn't go for a flip reset, instead just lets it go down into midfield, but quick recontest by Willamette Connections. Almost scores another goal, but what a demo, and that's been a part of so many of Wilsonville's goals. The demos at just the right time. mixed with quality shots on goal. Beautifully played there.
Absolutely. About 4 minutes left in the game right now. Wilsonville is up by 1 point. It's still a close match, still anyone's game. Willamette just needs to work extra hard for those goals right now.
And as we're moving into the home stretch of this match, Wilsonville trying to gain even more ground. Nice blocking by Willamette Connections. Not too many shots on goal. Lukey still looking to put the pressure onto Willamette Connections. Hazel puts it right in front of the goal. Another demo onto Wolfergain, and Wilsonville looking very much in control for this final match. This could be a good breakaway play for Willamette Connections, but now Poseidon has control of it, and he'll get his clear with his air dribble, leaving it for Hazel. Both still having, and look at that teamwork. All three of them get in on it, and Blue Key will find a hat trick and the third goal.
Halfway through the game right now, Wilsonville is up 2 points ahead of Willamette right now. The pressure is on. It is time to go for Willamette right now. They need to win kickoffs, keep the ball, and they do win this kickoff. It's looking good.
Poseidon, what an air dribble. They've been so adept at that part of the game, and it pays off yet again. Another goal for Wilsonville. 1-4, and this is that avalanche that we saw in games 1 and 2 rearing its head in game 4.
A near insurmountable task for Willamette to make this comeback right now. But if they want to have a shot at the state title right now, they need to put in the work. They need to step down on the gas pedal. They need to get going. They need to win and keep the ball on the other side of the field. As we've seen, they can open up Wilsonville's defenses. They're just not given that many opportunities to.
Soul with some good possession, goes for an air dribble, keeps it going, off the backboard, tries to squeeze it in, follow up by Extreme off the post. Oh, missing that one. That's really got to hurt. That would have been a great goal at just the right time. Instead, they're back on the defense. Hazel goes for one touch. Look at Blue Key. Oh, he was eyeing who could he take out there in the goal. Didn't go for a demo at the end of the day, but he definitely had his sights out. And there we go. I was talking about a goal right when you need it. This is huge for Willamette Connections.
2 minutes on the clock. 2 goals remaining to tie things up for Willamette right now. It's doable. It's doable. When Wilsonville's in one of these situations, they seem to just focus more on stalling out a little bit, running out the clock, so Willamette can't score. It's hard to deal with.
Nice little win on the 50 by Soul, but it's not going to turn into too much positioning for Willamette. They don't get the ball. In fact, Hazel setting it up for Poseidon. Dunk down toward the goal, doesn't find it. Nice clear, but they bit off more than they could chew, and Soul scores on an open goal. We are just 1 goal away now from this game being reset.
All right, Willamette, you guys can tie it up here. 1 minute and 20 seconds on the clock. 1 more goal to tie it up, and then 1 more to take the game from Wilsonville right now. Maybe we'll see a game 5 instead of a clean 4-0 sweep for Wilsonville.
Oh, ball falling back down toward the goal, right toward Lukey. Demo's being traded back and forth. Hazel keeping the pressure up. Saved by Extreme. Now around the corner, and no one there to collect. Less than a minute now. Demo on to Wolfergain. Going to put a dent in Willamette's offensive pressure, and even more of a dent now. 2 of them get demoed back to back, and Blue Key finds a hero's play of a goal for Wilsonville.
Wilsonville up 5-3 against Willamette right now. 40 seconds left in the match. As long as Wilsonville keeps stalling out the clock like we've seen, This game should be theirs. There's always a chance for Willamette to score those 2 goals, tie it back up, and maybe lead us to an overtime.
Seconds left. Must be do or die, and they miss that shot. They aren't able to win the 50, and that probably does it for Willamette Connections. At this point, I don't think there's enough time for 2 goals to be scored, and Poseidon is just looking to keep possession with Hazel. They'll play it back against each other, but that was a lot of ground they gave up on that back pass, giving a chance, ever so slight, but still a chance for Willamette Connections to tie this up.
7 seconds left.
That far of a back pass, that is rough. I can see wanting to, have possession of it, but still, they passed it all the way back from midfield to their own defensive third, and it it was almost their undoing, but they'll walk away with a 1-goal lead and win the state championships. Congratulations to Wilsonville and the greater Portland metro area. Willamette Connections gave their best, but in the end, they were just a day late and a voodoo donut short of winning the actual state championship. But that's going to do it for Rocket League, and now we've got your neck of the woods coming up, Colin. We got Smash Bros right after this, so we'll leave you with the top 5 plays of the game and then take a break and be back with Smash Bros, see how that state championship turns out right after this. And it just dribbles on back. Looks maybe like a little bit of overextension from Willamette.
If the goals keep continuing at this rate, this is going to be a long, maybe short, maybe a little bit long best of 7, just because they're not running the clock.
Slow start. And then in the next few games it's like watching something completely different. But as for right now, Wilsonville just continues running up the score, 5-0 in just a minute.
I'm excited to see what they can do with the rest of this 4 minutes. Maybe Willamette can do something, maybe bring it back a little bit, but it's definitely got to be devastating.
On end, there hasn't really been any sort of dribbling or ball possession by Willamette because Wilsonville is just stealing it left and right.
Another beautiful shot on the goal. They are not stopping anytime soon.
Now Wilsonville pushes back. Willamette puts a shot on goal, and that'll be the first one. They will not allow this to be a clean sweep. Might be the first step of a very long journey, but nice job recognizing that Wilsonville too far rotated up. Takes advantage of it. Well, they haven't really had to employ it that much, so they might be a little bit rusty in that regard. And look at this, Wolf pushing it in, and just, I told you. Second shot on goal, goal number 2.
You were right. I stand corrected. A beautiful shot from Sol there, making the score 2-7.
Oh, and the follow-up coming in. They'll score their third.
All right.
3 for 3 on the offensive pushes.
Willamette bringing it back a little bit. I like to see it. This is definitely looking more and more doable. 50 seconds left and 4 goals remaining, but it's not impossible. It's not impossible. They just got to be 10 seconds here.
I mean, maybe they can. Look at Extreme. He sets another one on, gets a hat trick for himself. And we've got a very different game all of a sudden.
Hat trick on both sides of the field. I don't believe I've seen that before.
Hitting the practice field, they certainly have some dexterity in mid-air. Poseidon also goes for a bit of a musty, but Sol sneaks it in under them. Well, all of these aerial acrobatics happened. Sol just says, you know what, I'm just going to take what's a sure thing, a shot right into the goal.
I love it. I'm hoping Mario Kart and Smash are the same way later today, but that's Rocket League.
Well, it's that request is being made a little bit harder because things now getting even more spicy. Wilsonville put up their first shot on goal. What a nice little pinch from Poseidon. Right. They do manage to get the save, but I'm a little concerned seeing that, especially since Hazel, yeah, you go in with that all-in mentality and you don't divide and conquer, and that's what's going to happen to you. Both them commit past midfield. Absolutely no one. Extreme kind of realizes too late on the rotation. That's
like they need to.
Another shot placed on goal by Poseidon, and now things are really starting to. We're really starting to see a huge lead be brought up by Wilsonville.
We've seen they can open up Wilsonville. They just got to win these kickoffs. All right. Another goal on the board for Willamette. It's doable. Again, it's going to be challenging if they want to take this game from Wilsonville, but it's definitely doable. It's happened in the past.
Nope, Blue Keep still being pretty good in terms of interference and gets the bump onto the goalie. I was just praising their interference ability, and hey, if you can't get a demo, get a solid bump. Sees Extreme, gets him out of the way, and that's an open goal.
Great display. Got 2 hat tricks on the board for Wilsonville this game. If I were in the position of Willamette, I would just start thinking about next game. This one is pretty much a lost cause at this point. So they need to start thinking, what can we do different at kickoff? What can we do to get the ball on?
Flip reset, doesn't quite find the goal. Willamette looking to get a bit of breathing room, blocked by Blue Key right in mid, and he puts a shot on goal, and Wilsonville back into the lead.
All right. Willamette needs to stop this momentum before it even gets started. Wilsonville has a little bit going for them right now with the first goal. It's the 1 minute mark in the match, 1 point on the board for Wilsonville. And there's going to be a second one. Goal from Poseidon.
Nice little call out on the redirect by Hazel, allows Poseidon
field a little bit. And it's right back over to Willamette.
Ooh, Poseidon yet again finds one. 3-0, 3 minutes, 25 seconds. Oh, off of the back post. Oh, that's so close. That was gift wrapped for him. This one also a good opportunity. They'll find this one, make it a 3-1 game.
All right, they're on the board now. This is looking more and more doable for Willamette. They're finding some opportunities to get the ball on their side of the field. Insurmountable right now.
Poseidon, quick. Okay, this is going to be one heck of a kickoff.
If they score off the kickoff here.
They need to, or at least keep it up in the air. And we've seen that Wilsonville has definitely been the more adept. Hazel had the first air dribble and now goes for the second. Soul blocks. Lukey setting up another. He just takes it himself. What a narrow angle, but he finds it.
Beautiful shot from Wilsonville there. And that may be the beginning of the end for Willamette here in this game. We've seen once Wilsonville really puts it's tough for Willamette to make that comeback. They've had some close calls, some close matches. Okay.
The kind of kickoff goal they needed last game, but they'll take one this game, sure thing.
All right.
To tie the game, yeah, nice contest off of Wolfgang. Beautifully played there.
Absolutely.
Connections, but now Poseidon has control of it, and he'll get his clear with his air dribble, leaving it for Hazel. Both still having, and look at that teamwork. Welcome back to the Boise State Esports Studio. We are covering the Oregon Esports State Championships. We just saw Wilsonville take on Willamette Connections, get a 4-0 win. We've got one of the players, Blue Key, joining us right now to talk about that win. It's nice to have you with us.
Thank you. Thank you for the interview.
No problem at all. Well, tell us a little bit about your team, how the season's been. Your team was a very cohesive unit, a lot of team play, not only in the passing and follow-ups, but I got to say, the interference and demos you were pulling out onto goalies was so well done. I have to think that your team's a pretty tight, cohesive unit. Tell us a little bit about your team and your journey this semester.
So honestly, I've been blessed. I've been really wanting to push for a Rock League team. There was a lot of groundwork I put in my junior year, had a lot of management, a lot of help to get the team going. And then my senior year, which is this year, it was time to get everything on. And I always knew that I was, considering Oregon's quite the small state, I would always knew that I was, in terms of high schoolers, I'd at least be like, just knowing my skill level, I'd be in the top 3. And I just needed good teammates. And I'm extremely blessed to have Poseidon, Aiden Wieland, and Kyle Hahn, Hazel, as my teammates. I really could not have gotten luckier, and they've been amazing all year round. Not only were I competitive in Oregon, we're also we got ranked as high as 2nd in the country at one point by HSCL. I'm honestly just incredibly lucky. I love my teammates so much. So much support from my athletic director, so much support from our principal, our advisors, the parents. A lot of it, there's a lot of stuff that goes into this team. And I mean, hey, results show it. When you build a good team culture, you're going to have lots of kids sign up. And I think we're the only school that I can confidently say that the best 3 Rock League players that are actually at the high school are the ones that played for their team.
Well, that's great to hear that you're having such a successful start to your high school program. I'm curious as to what your future in esports looks like in the next following years.
Actually, funny that you asked that, because yesterday I did sign to George Fox University. The main key point of why I signed there, honestly, wasn't even as a competitor. With esports being the way it is, small scene, obviously you guys put on an incredible state championship, and I feel like there's just so much more missing in esports. And I was offered, Miles Dean, who runs the George Fox program, offered me an internship that lets me have a huge influence on improving Oregon esports and Oregon Rock League specifically. There's a lot I want to do, and George Fox pretty much they gave me the keys to the castle to do everything I wanted. And I mean, obviously competing is going to be fun, but my competitive career is going to be way off to the side after high school. It's really just going to all be about helping the state championship, helping anywhere I can, do anything I can to help Oregonian Rock League players. And I mean, hey, I'd really love to get on the Oregon Esports Advisory Committee. I know they like to target for high school coaches, but I mean, I have a completely different skill set, and I'd love to use this time on air to advertise myself and say, hey, I really would love to make my case for being on that council or that committee, even if I am a high schooler about to go into college and not an official high school coach, because I have a completely different skill set, and I think bringing a young mind like me to the table will help. And I'm just here to help. I would love to do anything I can to help Oregonian Rocket League players.
And you mentioned your teammates, also the staff at your school for helping you get this program up. Is there anyone else you want to shout out? Obviously, you care a lot about the esports scene in Oregon. Are there any other players from different schools you've met, or just anyone else you want to call out for helping bring forward this competitive scene in Oregon?
Honestly, there's lots of good coaches, lots of good people out there. I'd like to think I could honestly go down the list. The guys at Oregon State, University of Oregon, are all very helpful, and they do a lot to also facilitate tournaments. They've worked with high schools in the past. I'd like to go shout out, even though I'm no interest in Bushnell University myself, and in all honesty, I don't think my players either, but Bushnell's a great esports program. George Fox is a great esports program. And there's lots of universities out there that I don't think anybody has heard of and even know they have an esports program, like Southern Oregon and Eastern Oregon. And I'd also like to take the time to shout out just every other high school. We're in the groundwork, esports isn't really at full capacity. It's going to be quite small. In all honesty, it's incredible for my teammates, I know, because they're going to have a long future ahead of them. But it honestly kind of feels disheartening for me to win a state championship from home. I just wish that I'd be able to do it on a stage with people watching me in person. And I just, I love you guys. I love everybody here making these events happening. I love the parents of not just my own parents, but other parents. I'm really not even like halfway there yet to the people I could thank, but I think I should cut it off now.
Well, we appreciate all that you've done for bringing these competitive options to high schoolers all over Oregon. Congratulations on your win. We'll let you bask in your victory. Thank you again for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, that does it for our Rocket League match, but as I teed up earlier, we've got Smash Bros coming up just around the corner, so don't go away. We'll be back very soon with that.
Came from a broken home. I've seen so many people go. Learn to make it on my own. It's easier for me to be alone. So how are you? Keep cutting through. Claiming you're not like the other guys. And only if I could give you a chance. Show me that you mean it. We'll feel some type of way.
We're covering the Oregon Esports State Championships, and we move on to the second game of the day. We're going to be going over to Smash Bros. It's North Bend is ready to go up against Silverton. It's going to be the Bulldogs versus the Foxes. See who gets the second of the 3 trophies we have to give out today. I'm your host, Jacob Palmer. I'm joined by Colin Carpenter. Colin, who I might just inform, as well as everyone watching, that you might think hearing North Bend, we might be talking about the Central Oregon town, but no, this is North Bend on the Oregon coast in Coos Bay. So it's a little bit of a coastal battle, and then Silverton is a little bit to the east of Salem, starting to get into the Cascade Mountain Range for those of you who are interested. But I want to ask Colin about something he knows pretty darn well, Smash Bros, because we covered the Washington Esports State Championships just a week or two ago, and we were very pleasantly surprised by the variety of players, the variety of picks, characters that were brought out in those matches. I know you can get very passionate about characters in Smash.
It's true. It was an interesting match. We saw the first match, I believe, was a Little Mac versus a Jigglypuff.
Yes.
It was something else. I was not expecting to see those 2 characters in the state championship, but here we are. I'm excited to see what some of the players today have to offer. I'm not quite sure what to expect, to be quite honest with you. I'm hoping to see some diverse character picks once again. Yeah.
Just you watch. It's going to be Steve Minman the whole time.
Oh,
we're gonna...
No, please, no.
North Bend versus Silverton. Please do not let us down. Then we'll be seeing North Bend make a return. And then Siuslaw will be brought into the fray for our Mario Kart match coming up an hour after this. In case you're wondering how this is going to go out, there are 3 players on each Smash team, and each of those players could possibly play their own match. A 1v1 best of 3. And then 2 sets out of the 3 will take the match. So, should be a pretty quick match, all things considered here, between North Bend and Silverton. We were just saying that if one team just completely sweeps it, then it could only take 4 rounds for this whole match to finish. So, kind of a bite-sized version of Smash. But these players could prove us wrong. They could make it go all 3 games, and let's take a look at those players right now. We've got Peyton Johnston, Apple Plays, Doritos, Logan Jones, and Teton.
And on the side of Silverton, we have that one guy's friend, SP, Ghost, Flyer, and MG.
I always dreamed of the time being an esports caster that I could call a match between Doritos and that one guy's friend. Let's go. This is the gamer matchup of the century right here, and I am all for it. Also got to shout it out to these players. These are, of course, creative usernames, but they're also very easy to read and pronounce. And a lot of players that go for usernames that go above 8 characters go completely hog wild. It's like they had a spasm and they just started pounding random keys. But these players, thank you so much. You're catchy, they're different, yet still fun to say and easy to say. So we appreciate you for all of that. But off we go, and this is interesting because North Bend and Coos Bay making a very strong performance as far as the Nintendo games are going, appearing in both Mario Kart and Smash. So they have the chance to win the majority of championships we cast here today.
They're definitely Nintendo fans.
Yes.
I personally am a Nintendo fan myself, so I can see where they're coming from. Nintendo games are always fun to compete in. I personally played on the Smash team here this season, which was a little bit of a different format. We ran crew battles, whereas these guys are running the 3 sets of 1v1s, which is an interesting format, but I like it.
And it brings up the interesting scenario that if the first 2 teammates win, then the 3rd teammate, or in this case, the 3rd, 4th, and 5th teammate, because they have 5, so they got a whole roster, both these schools they can bring in. A good number of players just probably aren't going to compete at all today and just watch their teammates take it home for them.
Yeah, it can be a little bit disheartening to not be able to play your game that you're in the state championship for. I can definitely understand that. But it is definitely heartening to be there and support your teammates as they compete for the state championship. So I'm excited to see who's going to be playing, who they're going to be playing. You know, these usernames we've seen don't really offer any hints as to who they're going to be playing. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited to see some of the character picks.
Yeah, and now you got me looking at everyone here, seeing if there's one Smash character that remotely lines up with any of their names. I'm not seeing too many obvious connections.
The only one I maybe see is Teton, which sounds similar to Tekken.
Yeah, that is true.
It's probably a bit of a stretch, but it's all we got.
It's all we've got to go off of right
maybe
now.
Maybe we'll see a Kazuya. That'd be interesting. He's pretty strong if you can keep him off stage, though. you can deal with him.
Well, you brought up something interesting. We saw a lot of off-meta picks last time with the Washington State Championships. I mean, barring the fact that there are certain characters who we already brought up and won't bring up again because we value our mental sanity. But if you want to have a respectable pick that's still strong, what's your advice on who to pick?
Don't pick Steve. Don't pick Steve, or Min Min for that matter, or Rob, or Pikachu, or Sonic. I hate him. I hate him. I don't hate the players. I hate the characters a little bit. I've had some experiences. I personally am an Incineroar player. He's a little bit low tier. He's maybe mid if you're feeling good. I think, though, Kazi is a strong pick. Unfortunately, all the characters I already listed off are strong picks. They're a little boring to watch sometimes. Just watching Sonic deal 10% and running around the map to run out the timers. Not a fun match anyone wants to see, but if it works, I guess. So hopefully none of those characters, but they are all definitely strong picks.
So other than that exhaustive long list that you gave, everyone's fine.
Yes.
Except for this long list. Let me bring it out. And then I go down the list. Other than that, they're good to go. And when we should have a fun match. But yeah, I still don't know. I mean, I would be willing to bet a good amount of money that last week was the only time we're going to see Little Mac. It takes a special kind of loyalty to take that all the way to the championships.
I can understand it, though. In my time on the Nintendo 3DS version of Smash Bros., I played so much Little Mac. I never played online, but I would have fun with Little Mac. So I can definitely understand why people play him. He's certainly fun. Just you got to get used to the staying on the stage and having the horrible recovery. One pick I'd like to see today is a general category.
We've got Sephiroth.
I was just going to say
K. Rool.
All right, K. Rool is one of those lower tiers. It's kind of a bit of a matchup check, but he's fun and he can work online.
And he has the blunderbuss. Remember, there it is!
The blunderbuss!
Okay, I'm not going to make too big of a deal of it last time because I don't want to be too one-note throughout this, but I'm going to be looking for that because that's my favorite move, just based on the name alone. Okay.
It's amazing. And then we see a Sephiroth. All right, a counter from K. Rool there. Sephiroth goes for the up smash and gets the spike!
Wow.
The early spike on K. Rool, beating out the recovery. Sephiroth's down air is one of the few moves that can beat out the egregiously big hitbox on K. Rool's recovery, but he does it.
Looks like he's using these long-range abilities, the best of his abilities. Everything he's thrown out there, he's landed.
And a counter, bringing it up to a quick 3-1 lead for the Sephiroth player at North Bend right now.
Moves back in, sort of a reverse edge guard situation here because, Master's still on the stage. He goes for drive down, but North Bend not having any of it.
Yeah, Sephiroth is one of those tricky matchups where he has a lot of really disjointed normals, but they're all really slow. So the key to playing around Sephiroth is you gotta wait for him to miss a move, and then it's your opportunity to attack. Or you can challenge him before he can get a move out. But they're a quick 3-0.
I'm talking about challenging before anything can happen. How about challenging before one single stock gets taken out? A clean sweep for North Bend starting things off.
I'm surprised. I was not expecting to see K. Rool today, but he's one of those matchup check characters. But clearly this Sephiroth player knows how to deal with the K. Rool. K. Rool is a heavy and a big body, so he has giant hitbox, so Sephiroth's going to have a really easy time landing those moves on K. Rool. I think that K. Rool just needs to use that counter more. We saw him land it a couple of times early in the match.
On the start, yeah.
But not leading to any stocks taken on the side of North Bend, I believe. So hopefully they can do a better job of that this next match. Maybe not a 3-0 again. But the North Bend Sephiroth doing a really, really great job of just keeping out the K. Rool on the side of Silverton.
A little bit earlier than that replay, I knew we were in for a show on the first stock that was taken with that down air. He came up and I'm like, oh my goodness, someone came here to play.
Definitely better than I could do on Sephiroth. I had a little bit of a brief stint with Sephiroth. I could never land that. It's tough because K. Rool's recovery goes above the ledge before he grabs on, so it takes away a lot of opportunities for edge guarding there, and you really got to know how to deal with it. But clearly, our Sephiroth player knows how to do it. Very clean showcase of ability there in that first match with a 3-0 sweep.
And now it's a question with these wide rosters that both these schools have. Do they bring in a different sort of pick, bring in a player, because they gotta recover fast, and they gotta recover right now, because with these only being best of threes, North Bend, this Sephiroth player is almost there to getting North Bend halfway to the championship.
Yeah, I definitely say we need to make a character swap here. You know, Sephiroth is really good at keeping people out. So the type of character you want to run a rushdown or a brawler character, one that's in your face, doesn't give you any opportunities to get out some of those slower attacks that Sephiroth has. So as long as they can do that, maybe we'll see the match even out by Silverton.
It's all up in the air as we are about to head into the second match of the first set. And then 2 sets out of the 3 will win the whole championship for these players. Of course, as we've been talking about, North Bend has the opportunity to make a showing not only in 1 game but 2, and the way that they just came out of the gate there with that Sephiroth could definitely be an omen for things to come if this isn't changed around fast for the Silverton Foxes. So if you're trying to counter a Sephiroth, what are we looking at?
I mean, like I said earlier, you know, rush down to brawly type characters. One really good pick is Captain Falcon. He's really good into Sephiroth because he can get in your face fast. He has really fast, hard-hitting moves that leave very little wiggle room for Sephiroth to really put out any pressure of his own. Another really solid pick is Me Brawler, but it looks like we're going to be running it back Sephiroth versus K-Rool again. Maybe this K-Rool can do it.
Off we go. Then, excuse me, Silverton with the Sephiroth. Yeah, Silverton's halfway. Excuse me. My apologies for getting to the championship. Oh, no.
We're right.
I was bamboozled. my original, I knew I was right at the original time. Yeah, North Bend halfway. Let's get to the actual match.
Goes for the spike again. Doesn't quite land it, but North Bend is up percentage-wise right now. Finally, K-Rool is using the crown a little bit. I don't think they used it at all last match.
They did a few times toward the beginning, along with the counter. They started out with it, and then as things went on.
Sephiroth landing those purple orbs on K-Rool, taking an early stock and another early percent lead. Goes for the spike, but doesn't quite land it. There's a blunderbuss.
And trying to edge guard with it, but nice recovery, shield, and my goodness, everything's so perfectly timed from North Bend.
K-Rool goes for a bit of a higher recovery, but Sephiroth sees it coming. He says, no, you're not getting back on stage. Silverton's able to power through with the belly armor to get back, but not enough. And that is another 2-stock lead right now from North Bend. Silverton's really got to start putting in the work. Silverton's at 60%, 80% right now. Still on 3 stocks. So it is a rough road for Silverton right now. And there's the spike to close it out.
End it.
All right, 2 3-0 games from North Bend. A fiery start for a fiery character.
Well, the good news is you got him out of the way, at least. You don't have to deal with him, but now that makes me a little bit, more fearful about what else, because if that's just one player, one choice from North Bend's lineup, then who else do we have to see is the main question.
Yeah, it really comes down to whether they're running their strongest or their weakest players first. So it'll be interesting to see. In my time playing college crew battles, we always had an anchor player, excuse me, who is our best player. We typically save to go last, just in case things went south with the rest of our team. So I'm interested to see if they're doing that this match, or if their Sephiroth was the strongest player and they just wanted to get that clean, quick, double.
I mean, if it's a best of 3, why not? You know, I mean, it gets you halfway there to the championship.
It definitely does, and this is another reason I like this format over crew battles. You play your strongest player, and then you don't get to use them again. So it definitely takes advantage of every single player on your team to be as competitively ready as possible, so you can't just rely on one person. Whereas in crew battles, you know, we usually rely on the anchor at the end of things. So I'm interested in seeing what the general strategy from the Bulldogs is here.
And we just didn't really see any chances for any sort of counters to land, any real hits with the crown. It just seemed like the Sephiroth was consistently 1 to 2 seconds ahead on the K roll for everything, just spotted everything out before it even happened.
Yeah, K. Rool is kind of a slower character. He has a very simple game plan of what he wants to do. So Sephiroth is one of those characters that really excels at out-zoning other characters. So completely negating any of K. Rool's zoning ability with both the blunderbuss and the crown, which is an essential part of his game plan. You land one of those, and then you go up and you follow up with a combo. Maybe get your opponent off stage or just get a nice % lead. But Sephiroth was not having any of that.
And really nothing could really be said in terms of, getting some good neutral for the K. Rool. It was just almost entirely spent the matches on the sides of the arena. I mean, he's got a good aerial recovery for it, but we saw the Sephiroth play around that too.
He does have a good recovery, but it is definitely very predictable. And with those extended hitboxes that go way beneath the stage with the Sephiroth down there, it is very easy to kind of see what's coming and know what to do, which clearly North Bend knew what to do. 2 quick 3-0 sweeps.
So, yeah, we got to see who they bring out now. Have we just been the real scary prospect? Have we not even seen the strongest player? But this is just the warm up, and they're going the whole anchor strategy of someone to bring it back. We're just going to have to see, is this match set to be done in record time? And then when we're done with this, we'll take a quick break, maybe talk in an interview if we are able to get someone from either North Bend or Silverton to join us, and then move on to Mario Kart, which should be very fun to watch here. We didn't get to see that for Washington, but Oregon is bringing in a little bit of Mario Kart, so I'm really excited for that. But in terms of Smash, we still have work to be done. There's still one set left. And do you agree with this here, what you're seeing here? Always can be quite the magnet for very strong opinions. So,
my big gripes with this tier list is Shulk and Pikachu are not nearly high enough. You notice Pikachu's an A+, and Shulk is right ahead and also A+. Though they are very strong characters. I'd say Pikachu and Shulk definitely should be placed over Cloud. The rest of this looks pretty agreeable. Game & Watch is pretty high, Min-Min's high, Pac-Man's high. And then, of course, going over to the low tiers, we have, they placed DDD below me, Sword Fighter, and Little Mac. That's an interesting take. I've seen some players do some nasty things with King DDD, but he's definitely not a high-tier character. I agree Ganondorf's definitely one of the worst characters in the game as it stands right now. And definitely Piranha Plant is down there as well. Though recently, there was a Smash event I was spectating, and a Piranha Plant beat a Steve, which is nearly unheard of. But I guess what I'm really trying to say here is any character can do anything as long as you have the ability to back it up. So tier lists are kind of subjective in that way, whereas characters can be better than one another, but it really just comes down to the player's ability.
Yeah, pulled off a 3 of spades reversal. If you play the card game President, you know what I'm talking about there. But yeah, talking about the lowest tier overcoming the top tier. And then Pyra and Mythra, I've seen a lot of that also be brought out, at least at the collegiate level.
Yeah, Pyra is really strong. Mythra specifically does all of the heavy hitting moves. You get kills with Mythra, and then that's Pyra, excuse me. I got them mixed up. I'm not a filthy Aegis player. But Mythra does all the damage, and then Pyra has all the knocking off power. So you build up damage with Mythra, and then you swap over to Pyra, and it's very little you can do unless you're really, really good or playing Minecraft Steve.
Which again, we said is a scenario we kind of want to avoid.
I would prefer to not sit in a 15-minute match. It's just 2 Steve players.
Well, and
sitting and
also
mining.
that's one question I wanted to bring. Do you think Steve should have really been in the S+ tier, or should there be an extra don't play tier above that? Is this a tier 0 kind of thing?
I would have to say so. Steve is truly just above the rest of the cast. He can just. The one thing that makes him so insane is there's currently. I believe it still is in the game. There's a bug where if he gets hit, he can just mash B, no end lag or hit lag on anything. So you get hit. If you get hit as Steve, you can move faster than your opponent can. Not to mention his blocks, which just slow down the pace of the game to an absolute crawl. And he can just sit behind blocks, wait till he gets diamond, you know, hit a couple moves, and it's over for you. Does that 3 times a match. But the worst thing is when it's 2 Steves.
I get you.
I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I went to a local tournament here, and a set between 2 Steve players went on for, I kid you not, a solid 15 minutes. This is why we don't play Steve.
It might also say why this has just been, you know, a best of 3 and sets of 3 too. They might be cognizant of that. You know, we want to leave enough buffer room in here just in case the mirror comes out.
Yeah. And the really long match is when you see a Sonic. I talked about it a little bit earlier today, but if you have a Sonic player, the general strategy is just get a hit, run away. Because Sonic is like one of the fastest characters in the entire cast. So you get a small percentage lead.
But
it's true. But you get a small percentage lead and you just wait out the clock. Do that 2 times and you're golden. So I'm hoping we can avoid some of those character picks today. But it seems like we are so far. We saw a Sephiroth and a K-Rool. 2 not so common characters, you know. Sephiroth is a little higher up on the tier list than K-Rool is, but still not a very common pick for top players.
I tell you what would be ultimate torture, not that it's ever going to happen because this is a stage not even close to tournament legal, but you know the Kirby stage, like the Great Cave Adventure or something. Oh. Try chasing Sonic around that puppy.
Oh no. I think the only thing worse than that is Poke Floats from Smash and Melee. We don't talk about poke floats. We don't talk about poke floats.
I mean,
I'm so glad
the
they
fun
didn't
thing is maybe Sonic is too fast, so he runs into the lava around all the caves, and that's his own comeuppance, if
That's
you will.
the only saving grace about Sonic, is that he's too good for his own good. Luckily, that stage isn't legal.
No.
I don't have a full list of stages that are legal today, but I believe it. You know, we saw Battlefield earlier. We saw Final Destination.
And we can usually always count on Smashville as well.
Yep. Town and City's another one. Small
Oh,
Battlefield's
Sora
another one.
versus the K-Rool.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I don't see a lot
North
of
Bend
Sora.
is picking what Silverton did last time, so.
I like it. However, North Bend is really going to have to work for this, as Sora has a lot of long-range moves and a lot of like really weird hitboxes and really just long-lasting moves that make it really hard for heavy characters like K-Rool to deal with, especially with those massive hitboxes in comparison to a character like Pikachu, for example, who has an easier time dealing with Sora. And as we see, North Bend's racking on the percentage against Silverton's K-Rool right now, with Silverton really unable to get anything going for themselves right now.
I mean, they are landing some hits with the Blunderbuss and Crown, so it is an improvement from last time.
Definitely better. North
And
Bend
they're
kinda stalling
landing.
on it. Okay. But again, edge running is not going to be that great of a strategy for Silverton, as the amount of movement opportunity Sora has is absolutely insane. With the side special and the up special, I believe Sora is one of the few characters in the game that can go all the way underneath the stage to the other side and make it back. And North Bend is going to take the first stock against Silverton in this match. However, they are sitting at a solid 130%, so one more big hit from K-Rool here is going to do it for that first stock for North Bend. Maybe letting Silverton tie things up a little bit. There's the up tilt, not quite enough to kill. However, Sora's at 100. There it is. There it is. The up smash for the kill. All right. They've taken a stock now. It's a closer match than last time.
I gotta say, Silverton's picking K-Rool for both the matches. They are gonna die on this hill.
You know, I can appreciate the dedication, though. K-Rool is definitely a fun character. Even if he's not necessarily the best on the roster, he can do some pretty nasty things. He just lives for so long, and the recovery and the counter make him surprisingly solid if you don't know how to play the matchup.
Well,
the crown
I mean,
throw?
trading pretty even in damage considering how tanky K-Rool is isn't the worst thing, worst pace for Silverton to have right now.
No, it's definitely not. It just means that North Bend is going to have a way harder time taking these stocks than Silverton is, because Sora is a relatively light character. It doesn't take a lot of damage to knock him off the stage and out of the blast zone. Oh, you're going to see another crown. And, the up smash trades, but only North Bend is going to lose a stock from that interaction. Silverton sitting at 150%. No, K-Rool makes it back. K-Rool makes it back.
I thought he was going to get caught in that counter.
All right, North Bend needs to take this last stock. There's the counter.
The blunderbuss hit.
Even if Silverton...
All of the zoning stuff that K-Rool has been landing this match, which I think is the main difference between this and the first.
It's definitely a nice change of pace for Silverton. Sitting at even if they lose this stock, they're sitting at a solid percent lead at North Bend at 80% almost. So North Bend is going to have to work really hard to take this second stock from Silverton, and then take another one, which on a K-Rool is a challenge. 200%. That average K-Rool moment. Counter is gonna get triggered, but not gonna quite land. And that is gonna do it. Silverton takes a match.
Mm-hmm. Thing is, why didn't Sora just use the power of waking to win that? I mean, it's not what it's supposed to be used for, but we've already established he can use it for whatever and have not basically hardly any consequences for it. So, I mean, just why not bring it out here? But I guess they had to consider balance overall. But yeah, I mean, once the zoning moves were able to land, then K-Rool had some room to work with.
I'm surprised. I haven't seen a lot of Sora gameplay. I'll be completely honest. So I'm surprised that a K-Rool was able to out-zone a Sora. Not something I expected to see, but it works.
Well, I think it's just learning to play around all that zoning stuff. I mean, that's the main thing. Sora certainly has the movement abilities to avoid them. I think that was just more of a thing of just some careless positioning on the side of North Bend that really led to their downfall.
This is true. And again, it just comes down to K-Rool being one of those matchup check characters, as I like to call them, where you really need to know what you're doing to successfully play against them, or you're going to have a tough time. Another one of those is a Ganondorf. I've encountered many a Ganondorf in my time online.
And so now Silverton, with a little bit of a toehold, having the ability to get back into the match. If they win this next round, then we will have 2 sets apiece, and then this whole best of 3 sets of 3 thing that we were talking was going to end in a heartbeat is going to go on significantly longer than we thought, because Silverton, maybe it was just like I said at the very beginning, you got the Sephiroth player out of the way. Was it a thing of just they put all their eggs in one basket and spent their best player at the very start of the match is I think, a huge question for North Bend.
It may turn out to be that way. You know, we saw probably one of the weaker players starting off the match on the other side of the game.
We have a little bit of a view. This is Silverton, as I was saying, a little bit to the east of Salem, one of those more mountainous regions. Starting to get into the Cascades. A lot of greenery, a lot of rain. But we're back to the actual match. Final destination. See if North Bend can recover.
Stage like Final Destination is just going to really accentuate the zoning abilities of K-Rool in this matchup. Sora doesn't really have any platforms to work with. However, North Bend does have all the movement of Sora. And there's a stage spike. Can Sora make it back? Oh, no, I'm surprised. I'm surprised. Sora doesn't make it back from that. Nice early stock for Silverton right now. Again, North Bend is going to have to work extra hard to make up this stock deficit. The second hit of the blunderbuss is going to connect. You'll love to see it.
Oh, yeah, this crown is just... This Sora just seems to... keeps getting hit on the backswing of the crown. Like, dodges the first one, but then not really planning ahead to when it comes back like a boomerang.
What I would like to see is more shield usage. We've seen Silverton using their shield a lot this match, stopping some of those moves from Sora that last especially long, especially like the side special. And the up air is gonna do it for the second stock, taken from North Bend.
Nice grab and throw, but still no stocks to show for it.
Taking 3 off of a K roll with only 1 stock of your own remaining is a near insurmountable task. It is definitely doable, but you've got to really know the matchup to be able to accomplish that. And it is looking like North Bend is not as familiar with this player from North Bend is not as familiar with the K roll matchup right now.
Go. Another hit with the crown. Shield and a throw.
All right.
That's 1 stock off. Long way to go, though.
And at 90% on Sora, a light character, the up smash almost connecting Sora down there, barely beating it. And
there you go.
the dash attack.
Well,
right.
Silverton will get their 1 point with K. Rool. Another thing, this could be the same player that they just decided to put back in. Like, he hasn't won, he might still be in the roster. But we're going to see. I have to wonder if Silverton just tries to flex and just win with just K. Rool. That is their only strategy.
I think the only thing that we could see that would be better than that is a K. Rool mirror in this final match. I would love to see it. We saw K. Rool last week at the Washington State Championships. We're seeing it again this week. I would love to see a K. Rool mirror match to finish things off here. Maybe I'm getting my hopes up too high, though.
Yep.
Maybe.
I mean, we've already seen North Bend. I think that I just have to wonder. My mind just keeps coming back to that first player, that Sephiroth. And I just have to wonder, you know, if that was their ace in the hole that they spent right away. And in a best of 3, I can see using it right away to instantly put you up to match point. But Silverton is really rallying back. And we're going to have 1 more set, 1 more best of 3 to decide it all between the Bulldogs and Foxes.
Yeah, the only hole in that strategy is if you don't have a roster to back up that 1 player. Because this format really accentuates the individual skill level of every single player on the team. So if you're gonna put all your eggs in one basket, focus on 1 player taking the first set in a clean sweep, you've really got to make sure the rest of your players can withstand the pressure and really bring things home for you. Otherwise, we're going to see ourselves in a situation like we're in right now, where Silverton has taken the second game and tied things up.
Here we go, another look back at Silverton. Oh boy, I remember skies like that many days of the year. I know I'm bringing up the rain so much, but when you live with it for 12 years of your life, this brings back memories. But yeah, it's a trade-off. You get all this beautiful greenery, forest, just lovely area. Again, we're looking just as a walk down through Silverton. And I just love these parts of the state. You know, you just get all sorts of old mills, timber mills, a lot of old, you know, remains from the pioneer days as well. I mean, there's a lot of history to explore there and just beautiful part of the state.
It looks like a beautiful town. I mean, maybe I'll have to take a visit someday. I'd love to see the rest of it. It looks like a beautiful area.
I love it when you see houses like this where you can tell they've been around for a while, and I mean, they got the classic country look with the porch and everything, but the people who own it, or the businesses that own it, I should say, because it looks like one is set up there, have just kept it in great shape around for all sorts of generations, and then just those old historic downtowns which haven't changed that much, you know, since when they were founded. Those are just always great little places to visit. You kind of get 2 flavors of the kind of mining towns. You either kind of get, you know, the one that we just saw, like with Silverton, which is old but has really been kept up in great condition, and then or you kind of get the more ghost town aspect of it, where there's a lot of more old buildings. Are you kidding me? We are actually seeing a piranha plant.
No way! I wonder if North Bend was inspired by Spargo, who is the professional player I was talking about, who managed to beat a Steve. But Ridley is also an interesting choice, not a very common pick I see. Silverton getting a little bit of an early percent lead. Hoping to close out this first stock. There's the forward smash, doesn't quite connect. Both players just trading hits back and forth, not really making much happen right now. Piranha Plant goes off stage, but Piranha Plant has a surprisingly good recovery for such a low tier character. So Piranha Plant can definitely do some things. That doesn't kill. Silverton going for a 2-frame, doesn't quite land it. There's the fireballs to stall out the recovery from North Bend. North Bend makes it back on stage, and the side special from Silverton is going to close out that first stock.
Only had to give up 50 health to do it, setting himself up at a great pace to maybe push North Bend to. Yeah, and this is what I was wondering. We've gotten the swap over. North Bend is actually in the Ridley, and this, I was thinking, Silverton, they're really being quirky in the picks that they have. A K rule followed by a plant.
It's been interesting, but I like it. I respect it. I love seeing lower tier characters at the top level of play. It's not something you get to see very often, so. Oh, that barely doesn't knock off North Bend. Silverton still struggling to take this first stock. The up throw, not quite enough to kill. Silverton's already back at a solid 80%. If North Bend closes out this second stock before Silverton takes their first, it's going to be pretty rough here. That's going to do it for the first stock of North Bend, though. Still a little even. North Bend has quite a bit of a percentage lead right now, and now a stock lead, bringing it to 1-2 in favor of North Bend right now. So Silverton's really got to put in the work with this Piranha Plant.
Especially hard considering that the second stock is basically fresh for North Bend, so you got a whole bunch of damage you got to overcome.
Especially when the players are just trading hits like this. No one's really taking a solid lead right now, which Silverton really needs to do if they want to have a chance at winning this first match of the set to hopefully win the state competition right now. Oh, they get hit by the last fireball. Make it back on stage, go for the up smash, doesn't quite land it. Not that maybe it would have killed, I don't know. We'll never know, I guess. The fireballs stall out Silverton once again. However, Silverton gets North Bend off the stage.
Looking for that final hit and lands it. North Bend now up 1, and just one more round to go before they claim the entire state championship.
All right, while I can appreciate the Piranha Plant, I don't know if sticking with it is gonna be the game plan if Silverton's really serious about winning this series right now. As much as I would hate to see
Which is also a question I'm kind of bringing up right now with all these picks we're seeing from them.
Yeah, as much as I would hate to see it, the game plan should probably be swap over to a better character. As much as I hate saying it, as scummy as I feel saying that, a character like Kazuya or Steve or Aegis is gonna be a better pick against a Ridley. Just if you really want to maximize your chances for winning the state competition, sometimes you got to do things you don't necessarily want to do. But if it's worth winning the state title, I can see it.
So we have a live view there at some of the streams that are going on at these high schools as they compete. Looks like we're taking a look at North Bend in Coos Bay right there. A fellow hello to them, and a great reason for their players. Great time for their players as they're getting ready to on the precipice of winning the whole thing. You can see them all lined up there in front. Looks like they're headquartered in their library.
Every program's got to start somewhere. I respect it. A library's a great spot to set up an esports program.
And look at all these stages, 95% of which we'll never see.
Unfortunately. I mean, maybe
if there was
they
one
do
stage based on pure aesthetics that you would just like to be a competitive stage, what would you?
Ooh, that's a tough question. Honestly, I miss Yoshi's story. It's a fun one. It has the curved edges at the end, which makes it a little different from normal stages. Either that or the DLC stage that got added with Sephiroth. I believe it's called Northern Cave. That one's a really fun one to play on. It's got pretty good platforms, actually. It's similar to Kalos in the way the platforms are set up. So it's a cool pick. I've seen tournaments run it before. It looks like we're probably going to go back on to Final Destination, maybe.
Off we go, and it's going to be Frontland versus Ice Climbers. So
Okay.
So we saw a swap, just not for the school that we thought.
All right, and we're on Pokemon Stadium too, which is also a solid pick. I like this stage a lot. It's one of my personal favorites. Plant is going to have some trouble dealing with Ice Climbers, though, especially if Ice Climbers can land the 0-to-death combos that they are known for.
Well, nice. He certainly evened things up in the damage.
Nice little combo there. Both players just kind of trading blows, not really landing much, but Silverton is off stage right now. Going to struggle to make it back on. Go. Silverton is taken back off of the stage. North Bend is doing such a great job of just keeping their opponents off the stage at all times and preventing any opportunities for recover, which is really, really closing out these matches for them. We see Silverton at 150%. One more strong hit from North Bend is gonna do it for this first stock. Silverton, oh! It finally lands. That move finally lands. So it's gonna be tough. Silverton's at 170% on Piranha Plant, which is near unheard of.
You know,
no way!
More unheard of.
He takes the first stock. All right, North Bend is quick to even things back out again, but that is not something I thought I'd see today. The up smash takes first stock from North Bend before they can close out Silverton's first stock. But North Bend's gonna get a nice little combo here. Nice little percent lead. Almost gets Silverton back off stage.
Oh, only had one of the climbers, but still did some pretty good damage.
One thing I think would be really fun to see this match is a Sopo. it'd be really funny, but I doubt it's gonna happen. That goes through the ice, extends its hit, its hurt box. And there's a forward throw from North Bend, again with a percent lead against Silverton. Though, as we've seen, Silverton can close out these stocks before North Bend, so maybe. All right, nice kill for North Bend here, making quick work of Silverton's second stock. Silverton's gonna really need to put in the work right now. They're down.
It's still just making me marvel at the fact that Silverton got up to 170 before their first stock was taken.
I don't know.
Oh my, Plans won.
There's the Sopo.
Well, okay, you were wanting it. It's up to 93. It's not out of the realm of possibility. Oh, just hanging on in there.
Goes for the forward smash. Doesn't quite land it. The up throw is not going to be enough to kill. There's the back air. Gets Silverton off the stage a little bit. No. All right. There is the back air. Closing out North Bend's second stock. However, Silverton has quite a deficit to make up at 120% on Piranha Plant. Another strong combo or hit from North Bend is gonna close out this set and series. Maybe Silverton can bring it back though. Another side special landing. Gets swiftly knocked off stage and is 150%. Pressure is on Silverton right now. Goes the wrong way with the downs.
There you go.
There's the forward air to close things out for North Bend.
And that will be the championship, all locked up for North Bend. Coos Bay, the Oregon coast, has reason to celebrate right now. Congratulations. Silverton gave them a run for their money despite our expectations from what they chose. It was a very tight game all around. So congratulations to North Bend. The Bulldogs pick up the championship, and they have the possibility of picking up another championship as we've got one game left. Mario Kart coming up. We'll give you some top plays, some highlights, and then take a short break and be back with more. So don't go away. We're not finished yet. We're coming into the home stretch of competition today. Stay tuned.
But again, edge running is not going to be that great of a strategy for Silverton, as the amount of movement opportunity Sora has is absolutely insane. Stopping some of those moves that from Sora that lasts especially long, especially like the side special. And the up air is gonna do it for the second stock. Rough road for Silverton right now. And there's the spike to close it out. All right.
You know,
No
it's
way!
even more unheard of.
He takes the first stock. All right.
Best of his abilities. Everything he's thrown out there, he's landed.
And a counter, bringing it up to a quick 3-1 lead for the...
All right, Peyton, here we go. Put this on. So what you got here?
All right, bet.
Can you hear him?
Yo.
Esports studio. We're ready with our third and final game of the Oregon State Esports High School Championship. We are going to be moving on to Mario Kart territory. I'm your host, Jacob Palmer. I am joined by Colin Carpenter. We're calling all of the action for you here today. Colin, you know, if there's one thing that's even more up in the air than predicting what the Smash Bros. Pick is going to be, how about what the next track is going to be in Mario Kart? 96 total options. Ultimate eat your heart out in terms of variety. Mario Kart is bringing it with so many different stages that we could see.
Yeah, it's almost too many, but I don't know. I'd like to see some of the maps with only one lap. So some examples of that would be Big Blue, or my personal favorite course in the game, Mount Wario.
Mm-hmm. Mount Wario's a classic.
Mount Wario, in both terms of music and gameplay, it's such a good course, hands down, my favorite in the entire game. Though, I'm hoping we don't see any Baby Park.
I'm glad we're on the same page there. You know, if there's one thing that gets me, it's the ones that have too much. The rose-colored glasses are a little bit too strongly tinted. In terms of Baby Park, for players who think it's the best stage in the entire series. It's fun. It's something different. I'll grant you that. Not the best stage in the game. Come on.
Definitely not. Definitely not. What's your favorite stage? We talked a little bit about mine.
And so as we are ready to jump into this match, we've got our two schools ready to go, and this is another matchup between two coastal schools that we have as well.
All right, nice bit of coastal action.
All right, and it looks like we actually are looking to get into an interview here with Peyton from North Bend up on Coos Bay. It's great to have you with us.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yo, what's up? We doing this?
Yeah,
All right,
we're
hold on. I
doing
gotta
it.
get to somewhere where I can hear you guys better, because it didn't work earlier. Yo, what's up, gang?
Hey, so first of all, we want to say congratulations on winning the Smash Bros. Event. Can you take us a little bit into that first, kind of revisiting the championship you just had before we go into Mario Kart?
Yeah, so, you know, we do this for fun, me and my homie Trenton. So I was the Sora player, and he's the Ice Climbers player. You know, we just do this for fun, and so it's pretty crazy that we made it to the finals. We did this one program last year called Play Versus, where we went up against like the whole region, like the whole West Coast, and I am frozen on the screen. Can you guys still hear me though?
No, we're good. We're good. Keep talking. You're good.
Okay. Yeah, so, you know, it's pretty crazy that we made it to the finals and that we won. So that's pretty cool, you know. Taking home a state championship. You know, I totally got carried, but, you know, we're here. We're out here. We're chilling. We're vibing. He's the real true victor right here, though. No.
Well, that's great to hear, Colin. If we're revisiting Smash, this is your wheelhouse. What do you want to ask?
I'm more curious about your guys' general game plan going into the finals. You guys came out with a strong start. Can you take me through the general game plan for the finals?
What was our game plan, you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we always go with our best first, which is he was the Sephiroth man. And then, you know, I'm just like the third player, so I always go second. Because usually people put like their best first, but I don't think this team put their best first. They were all pretty even on their team. But usually people put their best first, so we put our best first. And then Trenton's also really good, so he's able to like finish it off just in case I lose, because I kind of have like a pretty half and half win-lose rate. But Trenton and Ryan, they usually always win. So, you know, that's usually our game plan, and that's usually how it works pretty well.
All right, so
yeah.
we've been looking back at Smash Bros. Or we'll get you out on this last question. We got one more match to go. What's your prediction for how things are going to turn out in Mario Kart?
For Mario, here we got our Mario Kart ace right here, Gavin.
Okay.
Gavin, what do you think is going to be our our way to victory for Mario Kart?
Our way to victory, I believe, is going to be winning.
Yeah, we're gonna win. We're out here. We're out here to win, bro. I have to skip work for this, so we're chilling.
Well, congratulations. Nice job on winning the Smash, and we'll just see if the strategy of winning actually turns out to be a winning strategy here. It's a very simple strategy, but we'll see if that works out.
I don't know. Winning is pretty foolproof. If you win, you win.
That is true.
Yeah.
But
That's how it works, my boy. Let's go. Let's run it.
all right, thanks for joining us. We wish you luck in the Mario Kart match.
All right. Thanks, man. Thanks.
All right, so yeah, like we were saying, we've got this whole Mario Kart match ahead of us, ready to jump into the match. We've been given the information that it's a best of 5.
Best of 5. That's all we need.
That's
No.
all we need.
Do we know? We don't know if it's best of 5 Grand Prix, best of 5 races, if it's one of the battle game modes. So we're kind of going into this a little bit blind, but I'm excited. I'm excited to see what we have in store for us here.
I also have to, with a team like North Bend, who definitely seems like they're in this for the fun, is freewheeling. I mean, there's a lot of options you could pick if you're in it for a best of fun kind of attitude.
Absolutely. I just hope we don't see just a row of Teddy Buggy.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, there is whenever there's a character that's the best at Mario Kart, usually you go online, you're going to see all of one character because, oh my goodness, I can't believe I would say this, but you need to be more casual like the Smash crowd, at least in terms of what we've been seeing. The Smash crowd, at least, has been bringing out a lot of off picks, but I mean, everyone knows the Waluigi days when he was the best, and then you see Yoshi now as being one of the best. It's like, just mix it up, okay, is all I have to say.
I remember the good old days of just nothing but Waluigi wigglers in every single online match. It was something, but it's a pretty funny combination. I'm not gonna lie. Waluigi riding a wiggler to victory is always funny to see. It'd be funny to see a little bit of a throwback to that today potentially, but I'm not quite sure what to expect. Seeing based off of the Smash Bros characters we saw earlier, I'm expecting a mixed bag of picks. Just anything goes.
It almost seems quaint when you really think about it, that out of the 96 tracks that we have total to pick, 32 are from the base game. 32, the vast majority of these tracks are DLC.
It's been cool to see some of the tracks they've brought back in the DLC. My personal favorite of the DLC courses is the return of the Nintendo Wii Rainbow Road.
Yep.
Truly a test of skill for every player.
Truly is, although revisiting back, it's not quite as much of a monster, I would say, as it was back in its Wii days. There have been a lot of tracks that, as they've come back in DLC for Mario Kart, have gotten a little bit of a difficulty nerf. I mean, Moonview Highway sticks out to me as much. They've kind of cut the traffic down to a third of what it was on Wii Moonview Highway, if you remember playing that. So I would say not quite as bad as it was, but still, yeah, it's Wii Rainbow Road. Still very challenging. A lot of sections with no guardrail. You gotta be. And I wonder if any of these courses. I mean, we're talking about these players having the option to play for fun. Bring out something out of the blue. I don't know if any of these players are insane enough to bring a city course into the mix.
Ooh, that would be a spectacle to see. Those are always fun courses. I'm personally hoping, like I said earlier, for some of the more just straight courses, like one-lap courses, like Big Blue. I would love to see a Big Blue or a Mount Wario or anything along those lines. Is it going to happen? Maybe. I would be lucky, I'd say, to see one of those courses.
We're ready to jump in. Oh, we're doing Cheese Land.
I love it. And it looks like we're going to see some less traditional picks, though there is a Teddy Buggy right there. It looks
okay. So we are doing team battles here. So here's how it's going to work out: is this brings out an interesting dynamic when you're into team, and we're looking at it from the perspective of North Bend, I believe. Which Silverton actually. Silverton. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Silverton High School. They're in the blue. North Bend's in the red. So this is based off over how well your team as a whole scores. So sometimes we see teams try to just handle the first place position, but it really comes into does your team just kind of stay middling, waiting for those power items to come through, and then you take the lead at the very end.
Definitely strong arguments for both strategies. I imagine it looks like the red team has a bit of a bagger, DK. Probably racking up those items.
They're hanging back. Watch out for North Bend coming around to the final lap. You have to be wondering what sort of items they're holding. But also, from what we're seeing, at least the Shy Guy very well protected with the 2 shells.
red
So
shells.
when you have a bunch of shells like that, it has a question, do they have something like a lightning or a blue shell to even this up for the final lap?
As we're closing in
Oh
on the
goodness,
end
goes
of the second
goes for the shortcut without any boost. He's dead set on using it. So it's such a huge amount of track that you can cut out.
I'm
All right,
expecting
we're
to
gonna head
see
into the final lap. This is where we see if they've fully gone for the item strategy. You see one bullet bill brought out. Gonna get him back in the mix, but gets hit with the blue red shell right as it wears off. Oh, that bites.
definitely does. And it looks to me like red team is saving all of their special items for the very end of the race to hopefully make a comeback. Otherwise, they'll be not getting nearly any points.
It's going to be a chaotic few seconds. We got a star that clips one. And now North Bend is really moving into it. They've been saving everything up, bringing out the stars, bringing out the bullet bill as we round the final turn. Can
There's a
Silverton
lightning.
and a lightning for good measure as Cordy flattens them all. And we called it out. They were waiting to use those items. But the question is, we still have one from Silverton. It's not a clean sweep, though. Silverton still claimed first place, and I think that's going to overall keep them afloat in terms of score. Yeah,
Barely.
they just barely managed to
3
hang
points
on
ahead.
to 3. So there's one. There's one of them already in the pocket, which I'm sorry, we've been saying Silverton the whole time. It's
Siuslaw.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm sorry, I just saw SHS and my mind is still back in Smash days. But yeah, you were right. Yeah.
It's interesting match. So obviously one of the schools, red team going for that item saving strategy. We kind of called it out a little bit. Didn't end up going quite in their favor, though they did manage to bring it back a little bit at the end there with only 3 points behind. So I believe if it were me, I'd probably send out at least one of the team players to go out ahead of the rest of the players, as one of the members of blue team obviously did.
Yep.
So I'm expecting a little bit of a pivot in the strategy of red team here.
Well, we'll see if North Bend can recover or if they'll bring it back in this team fight, which just, again, brings out a whole different dynamic in how you coordinate with your team, how you bring out those items. It isn't quite as much a kind of the madness that can be mid Mario Kart, when you're in the middle, of the pack. I mean, things are just great. The
Absolutely.
front is where it kind of calms down a little, and it's really a question of how many defensive items do you have to maintain your lead. So off we go. Can take a little bit look. This time now we're in the we're at the point of view from North Bend here, and we're going to be going to Rainbow Road 64. It's a one-lap course.
Let's go! I get one of my one-lap courses. You'll love to see it, and this is such a fun one, especially with the amazing visual overhaul it got since the days of the Nintendo 64. Still managing to keep the essence of the old track alive, though.
We're seeing what sort of items they're spending. Some of their items right now is one of the players from North Bend going in. In fact, they got first, second, third on their mind, so they're not going for a similar strategy as they did last time. Instead, it's going to try to maintain some forward positioning. One item gets in, but quartering's looking pretty clean, all things considered. Getting to those purple boosts, which one of the things from Deluxe, I mean, it's a lesser known. It's not the biggest change, but it does bring in, it makes some of these tracks play in a whole different way. Because we want to get that extra speed boost. We're heading into the final, and this is my one gripe about N64 Rainbow Road, making it a one-lap track. It's a little bit too short for my taste. That could be huge. The super horn taken from the Donkey Kong. That takes away, if there's a blue shell here, they do not have a way to defend against that now.
And it looks like Siuslaw is stocking up on those items. They've taken a little bit of a further back positioning similar to how they did last match. So with the steal of that super horn, hopefully they can make a comeback by using some of their stronger items.
We saw, but it doesn't look like too much shakes from North Bend. They claim first and second. Yeah, everything comes out too late. The bullet bill and the blue shell. Although Siuslaw, very standard positioning, they do get a lot of points in terms of being in the middle of the pack.
They definitely do. And they're going to tie it up. All right. So it seems like the strategy is kind of working out in the long run for them.
Again, it's how you finish as a team overall that really does it. So Siuslaw And North Bend really, really nipping at each other's heels, 33 points all. So we have seen Cheeseland and we've seen N64 Rainbow Road. So we're sticking in kind of the first half. We're still sticking in the Wii U days. We haven't seen any of the booster course passes be brought into the mix.
I'm wondering if those are even legal at this level of competition. I would hope so. They have some really fun courses on that list.
And looks like we are jumping in. Okay, it's nice to have your questions answered. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
All right, we're going to be going New York Minute here. Not my favorite of the city courses, but it's fun to see a city course nonetheless as we are in Siuslaw's point of view right now. North Bend taking the early lead as they're making their way back toward the city section. It's a question of how well they take advantage of those sewer mains. Heading up, you can get the double item boxes, a little bit better items and stuff to use. Siuslaw hanging out near the back of the pack, though. Going to let North Bend take the early lead.
Once again, another run of the same old strategy. Maybe this time they'll get in the point lead. We saw they managed to tie things up from a 3-point deficit last round. So maybe if they manage to kind of split the positioning like they did last round, they'll be able to take the lead.
Siuslaw really wants to try to hit these sewers or at least land on top of the bus. That's where your double items are. We're seeing them going for that. If you're in the middle of the pack, a lot of great items you can use. Immediately going to pop the red shell, keep a green shell just for defense. But I also got to think that North Bend has defensive items as well. We move into the third and final lap, making our way around turn 2. Coming up on turn 3 to go into the parking garage. It's a pretty straight shot here, but then you got that S-bend right after you enter. Got to keep your corner clean. North Bend's going to steal away the double item from Siuslaw. That's pretty big, though. Siuslaw is making moves and coming in with the fire. Gets a hit on the fire flower. Moving around toward double, but North Bend still holding on to first and second place, and it looks like it might be a similar situation to what we saw last time. Although I saw a few players from Siuslaw hit some bananas at the very end. And yeah, that's going to tip it toward North Bend, I think, in terms of the score.
Definitely is. Siuslaw did a great job of splitting up North Bend's team
right
until the very end of the match there, and North Bend is going to take the lead.
Sometimes it's those bananas at the very end that just take it away from you.
I noticed the Siuslaw player accidentally ran into his own fireball, which will do it. So a little bit of an unfortunate item use there, just filling the tunnel up with fireballs, hoping to hit someone, and then you hit yourself. So gonna give the lead to North Bend in this first race right now. Third, my bad, excuse me. So yeah, I'm expecting Siuslaw stuck with the same strategy the entire time of just hanging back, but they've lost the lead twice now.
Although, unlike Rainbow Road, I would say that they used their items at the right time. They had enough time to get into lead, I think. It's just they really got tripped up by some of those defensive items that North Bend placed down. So it's a thing of, even though it was better than on Rainbow Road, I still want them. I almost hesitate to say use your items on the third and final item box set. Use them like in the middle of the row. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Give yourself a little bit more time to take advantage of stuff like the lightning, of the blue shell, of all that. Now we're going to go back to North Bend, see how they're doing. Also like North Bend, just giving us the 4 players. This gives us kind of a wide view of what the team as a whole has in terms of items. We're going to be going on to Yoshi Circuit. Okay, this is a difficult one. There are so many tight hairpin turns. You got to have your cornering clean on this stage.
We were talking a little bit over the break. We had, this was your top pick for what you wanted to see.
Yoshi's Island, not
Yoshi's Island, my bad, excuse me.
But I do like Yoshi Circuit. It is such a challenging stage. We're coming up on one of those challenges. You can basically cut a straight line here through all of these turns, however, so they're going to be doing that, using those mushrooms to their advantage to get some solid cornering. But you do still see a bit of sandbagging here from North Bend, keeping in 6th and 2nd, want to have those power items available to them. Hey, I always love myself some red shells. That's a great move for that Yoshi. Siuslaw still staying in 1st and 2nd as we're rounding the Yoshi hand turn. Keeping it clean, nice shortcut, but he goes right into the drink. That's the problem. You got to make sure you're lined up on that shortcut.
That's a tough one. It's really hard to land, especially if you go off at a slightly wrong angle. As we saw, you'll just straight into the water and end up putting yourself further behind than you would have been if you landed Nice little shortcut behind him.
It's all part of the master plan. Sandbags.
Maybe.
You want those power items.
We are only on lap 2. So
Uh-oh, that
there's room
Yoshi,
for
that
change.
Yoshi has been boosting into a lot of these tight turns, which really has been spelling disaster. He's been going way off the stage. He's got to pray that he gets some real huge items running into the wall. And see, that's the main thing about Yoshi's circuit. If you're, it looks like we're on 100cc, but especially if you're on 200cc, you got to break on Yoshi's circuit. It's one of the toughest stages in terms of just having the tightest turn.
Absolutely. I'm pleasantly surprised with the variety of kart and character choices we've seen.
Yep.
It
All right,
hasn't
we're
just been all Teddy Buggy.
moving into one of the final turns, the tail turn around the corner. Siuslaw has a pretty big lead. They'll be able to claim first place, but it's how the team has done as a whole. And look at North Bend having second, third, and fourth. Siuslaw trying to make a few final moves, but I think the overall team positioning of North Bend is working out for them.
Well, it maybe comes down to this race. I'm not quite sure, but
I think the lead gets bigger. Yeah, it goes up to a 16-point lead now.
all right.
And this is where I think some of that teamwork from Siuslaw needs to come into play. I think they need to move more as a cohesive unit. We see North Bend, they're always just a few places beside each other. And that's where one of the things can come in that, you know, you can start to play defensively for your team. You know, you can start throwing out those bananas, or maybe if you have a super horn. Oh my goodness, we're doing Peach Gardens. Here we go. There are some competitive players that absolutely hate this stage because of the reverse lap.
How could you hate this stage? It's beautiful.
It's pretty, but the reverse lap can lead to some very huge shenanigans in terms of shortcuts you can take. I don't know. I still like it. You can give the Luigi a high five. If they high five Luigi, I'll be happy.
I haven't seen enough of this stage. I didn't know you could high five the Luigi
Yeah,
statue.
on the reverse.
That's amazing.
Yeah, the Luigi topiary.
I love
Gonna come into the Piranha Plant roundabout, move right past that. Red Shell hitting one of Siuslaw's players, moving on into first, but this is the thing. Siuslaw pretty reliably has been getting first place. It's those middling teammates that I'm worried about, as we'll take the final right angle curve and head on into lap number 2.
One more lap until the reversal, which is going to be an interesting opportunity some nice set play. I wonder if anyone's going to be setting up any like bananas or anything to catch people off guard.
Dangerous
Ooh.
on that banana. And
Gets hit on the
boomerang,
return.
yeah, lands it. And it's hit Siuslaw again, too. That I normally don't get that much mileage on the boomerang, but it sure worked out here.
North Bend is putting in the work in terms of items.
And things also seem like they could be a little bit fragile for Siuslaw in the sense that they're only getting single shells. And I want double shells, just having that backup for your backup in terms of overall placement. Because then, as we saw, one hit from the boomerang and that mushroom, I mean, I always like having a mushroom for the speed boost, but they're being overtaken.
Definitely. Some triple mushroom. Maybe going to get a little bit of a lead from North Bend here, maybe. They're still sitting solidly in the middle of the pack. They've split up Siuslaw nicely here.
And they're just hanging right behind that first and second place, ready to green it in. Okay, here we go. Reverse time. They take the final lap backwards.
All right, it is time. Time to see if anyone's pulled up any sort of shenanigans with items.
Oh, that triple red shell is such a good item to get, and they're already using the boost. They're into second, following behind one of Siuslaw's players. What kind of item does the Yoshi pick up here? Oh, gets the coin. That's the struggle you get when you're up there in those leading places.
This is why the strategy of staying in the middle of the pack till the end of the race can work out nicely, especially if you get defensive items.
I am so glad we have the 4-player view here for it. Does anyone go for the Luigi high five? Come on, we're counting on you. Hey! There you go!
Let's go! 2 players went for it.
Man
You
of
love to
culture,
see it.
I see. All right.
Yoshi
I don't care
almost
what
was the
happens
wrong
from
way.
here on out. I'm happy now.
We got the high five. That's
Oh,
what
look at
we're
the cut
here
across,
for.
though, from the villager.
Ooh.
He cuts across the grass, still has 1 mushroom. He'll be able to get second place. Siuslaw has first, but it's been this second, third, and fourth. Getting the points that those allow you, I think, is leading North Bend to victory. I'm pretty sure they got it, yeah, because there's just so few points given to 7th and 8th. That's got to do it. Yeah,
Yep,
they're in
that's the
triple
nail in the
digits now.
coffin. 108 points to 87. I believe that closes it out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that might do it for the set. It said best of 5.
You know what? The more Mario Kart we get, I'm happy.
I'm all for more Mario Kart. But yeah, it looks like that's a big gap if they have an opportunity to recover. And looks like the first point is going to go to North Bend.
Okay, so if this is truly a best of 5, that means we could have another 5 for a GP. Oh my goodness, this is so many races we get to see. I am so happy right now. I am geeking out right now.
I'm all for more Mario Kart. And it looks like you're right. All right,
SNES.
we've got at least 10 more
Bowser's
races.
Castle. SNES Bowser's Castle.
This is a fun one.
Just gonna wait for everyone to load in here, but yeah, SNES Bowser's Castle. Pretty wide turns on this one. There's plenty of opportunities for some of those purple super drift boosts, if you will. So we'll see how well teams can do with that. Get the opening volley. No one from North Bend has gone into the position where they're immediately taking first. Because second place, that's a very crucial watermark. You can still get mushrooms, you can still get some red shells, as we've seen.
It seems to me like North Bend is just letting Siuslaw keep hold of the first place position to really stomp out any opportunities for any good defensive items for him. As super horns are very rare. I mean, a much
Love
better
this
odds
mushroom
at
he
second
has
place.
here. He can cut right across there, take the lead.
We're on to lap 2.
Gets a coin, completely defenseless. Siuslaw takes the lead. Both of them run into double item boxes. It's going to be an interesting play of events. Gets the mushroom. Yoshi looks to be able to cut the corner here. He can, but it doesn't set him up in as good a position for the purple. So he'll just stay on the main road.
It's interesting. Siuslaw seems to have adapted the strategy of splitting up North Bend now, as you've got one person from North Bend way up in the front at second place, and then the next closest player at fourth place. So Siuslaw is kind of, it looks to be adopting the strategies that North Bend has used against him.
All right, heading into the final lap. North Bend hanging on to the first place position, but second, third, and fourth, if Siuslaw can claim that, they'll have the point advantage. Luckily for North Bend, their Yoshi's pretty well protected, although he throws out the red shell. And he's going to pay for, he might pay for that. And it looks like that was a false alarm. Siuslaw's retaken the lead. And North Bend is back in 7th and 8th. That's devastating for them. Around the corner, they need this Yoshi to finish in first, but he's has his position taken away by Siuslaw, coming through to the final cut. And just manages to sneak past the swamp to take first. North Bend will take third. That means Siuslaw going to take second and fourth, 6th and 8th. So I think North Bend is still ahead overall.
The alternating numbers there is kind of funny to see. It's really unfortunate at the end there. It looks like one of Siuslaw's players ran into the thwomp midair. That's going to bring it to 130 points to 104 points.
Mm-hmm. North Bend winning yet another one, so it really has been that team play, and it really makes it so not one player can run away with it. You know, it's just not one player who's holding everyone up. Everyone has to be on their A game in team play.
And it looks like that was actually the end of the first set. So it looks like each one is comprised of 6 matches. And it looks like we'll at least see 12 more races, if I'm not mistaken, as this is a best of 5. So this could go long, folks.
Oh, I'm gonna take a sip of drinking water once again in the next match. We're in for a marathon, if you will.
Absolutely. You know, I don't mind more Mario Kart.
But you know
though.
what? Hey, each race lasts about 2 to 3 minutes. So I mean, you know.
It's not the worst thing in the world. And it's
No.
Mario Kart. Mario
Yeah.
Kart's fun. Mario Kart's a fun spectator event. It's fun to talk about. It's fun to watch the goofy antics that sometimes happen with all the items.
And I'm so glad we're seeing such a huge variety of stages, from the originals to the DLC. It's all good. And no baby park so far.
No baby park. As long as we go the rest of the day without seeing it, I'll be happy, though. I've kind of jinxed things for us, potentially. Hopefully, none of the players are watching and hear
Yeah,
that.
I have a feeling that they might do it just for that.
That'd be unfortunate. If you're watching, players, please pick Mount Wario. I want Mount Wario so bad. my favorite stage in the game. Just honestly, purely because of the music. The
No,
music is
the
just
music's
insane.
great, but yeah, Mount Wario has some great track layout as well. There were a lot of, especially one of the first hairpin shortcuts, and well, it's not Baby Park, but it's still an oval track. We're going to be moving into Excite Bike Arena. A lot of straightaways on this one.
At least it has ramps.
It does have ramps. That does help break it up, I suppose.
Baby Park has just flat 7 laps of a nothing. So Excite Bike is much more of a welcome course than Baby Park will ever be.
Got to keep aware of those mud marks around the hairpin turns. You don't wipe out if you hit them, but it can mess up your drift and that speed boost associated with it. So DK is going to be taking first place, quickly followed by the Villager. Nice positioning for North Bend. In the corner they go. Nice dodges of the mud. DK completely defenseless, though, wanting to get some sort of item. He's so vulnerable to a coin right now. And I called it. He's not going to have any defense.
Looks like North Bend is doing a little bit of sandbagging. Still leaving 2 of Siuslaw's players in the very back of the pack.
Yeah,
Still,
you want to have those power items to kind of counter what Siuslaw's going to bring out in the final lap.
This is a triple shell, which is a great defensive item. DK finally gets a banana. It's better than the coin.
I'm sure he wouldn't have it any other way. Yeah, he gets the coin in the secondary item slot, but he has at least a little defense.
Gonna throw the banana. Now he's just stuck with a coin. No real opportunities for any sort of defense here. And he's gonna get a red shell on his tail and he's gonna get
there you go. Siuslaw now takes the lead. Now he's in a position where he can get some good stuff. And, oh man, he goes down to 7th place instantly. He's gonna have some really good items coming his way. 4 mushrooms. He is gonna be zippy. In fact, the Yoshi's gonna be zippy as well, but it's not offensive is the thing. I don't know if that's enough to get them back. Okay, but the pack is really close together. He uses the mushroom to cut. I love that here. He's gonna get 2nd place again. He's throwing out all the green shells. Can he steal it? He cannot.
so close. Siuslaw just had 1 defensive item. I saw one of those shells hit. That's gonna do it for the first race of this series.
Siuslaw goes up to a good lead. 1st, 3rd, and 4th. It's really good in terms of points, and they'll take 23-16.
Very solid point lead.
And that's a little bit of the unpredictable nature of Excite Bike Arena, is that because it is such a straightaway stage, the pack is going to be very bunched up. There aren't too many tight turns that can really lead to a huge separation in where everyone is.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting course. I'm just so glad it's not Baby Park. I cannot express how much I would hate to see that course. But yes, and it looks like Siuslaw took a little bit of a different strategy that round. They were more tightly packed together than we've seen. Not as split up by North Bend as we've seen in the last series.
We're going to be going into the 2nd race here. We are going to Bangkok Rush, one of the later city stages. Probably has one of the best gliding sections on lap 2, or segment 2. There aren't really laps here in the city stages. Going to start off on the river market, then head on into the railway market. Actual place in Thailand, where the train goes right through the middle of the market. Everyone has to stand aside. Right now, we've got Larry in the bottom right corner taking the early lead. Doesn't have any items to defend it with, though. But yeah, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd for North Bend. This is a great showing so far.
However, they've got to be careful with their usage of items here, as Larry doesn't have any defensive items, so they are very open to an all-out item attack from Siuslaw right now.
Nice change of pace as we turn right this time for segment 2. A lot of markets in this stage, I gotta say. Almost everything is an outdoor market.
DK barely eats the last
Here we go. I love this gliding section. So pristine. Larry's still maintaining control. I mean, I think Larry and Villager can be the tag team now. They don't want to antagonize each other too much here. 1st and 2nd, doesn't matter who gets first. Just make sure your team has those 2 positions. Going to take one final turn. Now, the thing I'm going to be watching out for here is this parking garage. It's a 270-degree turn. And you can pull off, if you corner it well, a purple drift boost every single time.
Pillager is sitting in a nice, solid spot with a red shell after using the mushroom. And it looks like he got the purple boost.
He did. Larry didn't go for it. Instead, tried to get the small boost as they went, but that sent him into the wall. They're still in first and second. This is great, and they got so many red shells. I think this is pretty well secured for North Bend. Problem is, well, they do have the lightning. He's trying to get past that gold mushroom to bring out the lightning, but he goes out. The Donkey Kong goes out of the stage. Any benefit he got from the lightning is down the drain. And I think Siuslaw, even though they didn't claim first and second, the advantage they get from being right in the middle of the pack is going to keep their lead.
Absolutely. As 7th and 8th get nearly no points, maybe they'll tie things up.
Yep, there we go.
41-37
It's
now.
a little closer due to that first and second place finish, but oh, that is so tragic. That lightning, so good, but two things worked against him. It was that golden mushroom, actually, that worked against him because he had to get through that. He couldn't just use it and rip it. It has a timer on it, so he wasn't able to use the lightning as soon as he wanted to. And the remaining momentum from the last time he boosted with it sent him out of bounds when it hit, leading to the longest Lakitu ride I have ever seen.
So unfortunate.
Ooh, Rosalina's Ice World.
Okay. Another one of the newer courses.
From the 3DS. A lot of cornering here as well. I was mentioning the 270-degree turn. There's one right at the beginning of the track here that you can hold the whole way through.
Hopefully all the players know to get the purple boost there. Just waiting on everyone to load in right now. We're off.
Here we go. Slippery track, in a huge corner. Everyone's trying to take at the purple boost. Yoshi's going to take a dip, though.
North Bend following the end of the pack early in the stage. So hopefully they'll get some power items so they can come back.
I'm trying to look at how many players are able to stay on land for this segment. The first lap is the only one where you can do it naturally. From there on out, a piece of that track sinks down, the ice sinks down, and you have to have a mushroom to be able to be on dry land and take the faster route for laps 2 and 3.
Very reminiscent of Grumble Volcano. I have some memories of that course.
A lot of them can also take the shortcut here. A lot of them have this mushroom, as we see the Yoshi's doing. He's going to cut the corner, gets it back up to 5th. And now look at this. The first time we've seen this, North Bend is in all the back positions. It's half and half. Siuslaw in first, North Bend in second. But
However, yeah, as we're both getting that, this does lead to a massive opportunity for North Bend to get those power items. Securing all 4 of the back slots opens them up to so much more opportunities for strong items. We are going to see 3 of the players, almost 4, fall into the water there.
that's the thing. I mean, they're getting a lot of speed boosts, but North Bend is not cornering well, and so they're just boosting off the track into the walls, and Siuslaw just more than happy to keep that first place positioning. Nothing really offensive for North Bend yet. They've gotten mushrooms, but nothing like red shells or lightning or that blue shell, which we haven't seen a count of, which might be turned off if you're viewing custom rules. Oh no, it is not turned off. I like it. There's a blue shell. That's going to open things up. Give North Bend a little bit of a chance, but I do like it that it is well-timed. There's plenty of time to respond to it. It's not going to steal this race away, but it might just be enough for North Bend to get back into the mix. Although, I think Siuslaw might have had a super point. I did not see it. Oh my goodness, what a picture perfect race. Siuslaw has pulled it off. You cannot get better than that. First, second, third, and fourth in that order. Oh, wait. One up. No, like I said, it's the cornering again. Oof. The Larry had the only chance to take a front 4 position, but they're using the mushrooms so haphazardly that they're just flying off the corners. And Siuslaw, this is going to be huge score boost for them. 70 to 40, almost nothing added to North Bend's points.
North Bend is going to have to really put in some extra work in the next few races just to make up that point differential right now. It's going to be a task, and they definitely do need to clean up their cornering if they want to take this back.
Yeah, A lot of that also comes through. If you have a boost and you're going off a ramp, especially, you got to make sure that you're lined up well off the ramp because you can't adjust in mid.
Maple Tree Way.
Oh, this is one of the greats. I love Maple Tree Way.
I have fond memories of this course on the Wii. I'm so glad they brought it back to the Switch here. Such a beautiful course, too.
Yeah, it is one of the better. Very nice music. This one, I think, really benefited from the live instruments. Mario Kart band.
Absolutely.
All right, as we start things off, Maple Tree Way is not a course you want to sleep on in terms of how well you have to have your drifts and cornering down. It has a couple of tricky, tight turns.
It's definitely tripped me up a couple of times in my time.
Especially here, this turn right now that we're seeing the players come up on, no guardrail around this hairpin. And as we've been saying, with North Bend using these mushrooms so haphazardly, if they're not careful, they could boost themselves off the track.
Well, they definitely have to do a better job of timing their item usages if they want to not give up the top 4 spots to Siuslaw right now. There was another one of those relatively tighter turns, so that one does have a ramp at the very end.
Green shot hit on the Larry that gives Siuslaw a majority of the prime positions back.
Going into the end of lap 1, there's only one North Bend player in the top 4 spots in Villager.
Oh, the
Villager
banana in the glide! What a play! I mean, he's in 8th place, so it doesn't really work out. See, that's what I was talking about. The Villager, you run into the mushroom. You gotta keep these corners in mind.
She gets hit by a red shell, falling down to 7th place.
Now, things are just not working out for North Bend. I think Siuslaw might have found their way to win.
It looks
or
like
you know, get the. I mean, it is they're choosing random stages, but if we get very tight, turny stages, then Siuslaw advantage.
I think another strong pick from Siuslaw right now would be Neo Bowser City. That one is infamous for the amount of tight turns it has with no guardrails on a massive portion of the stage.
I wouldn't say not a massive portion. Actually, most of the stage is guardrailed, but the turns that aren't guardrailed are so hazardous it makes it feel like those.
Yeah.
No guardrails.
Absolutely. And moving in to the final lap, North Bend is occupying nearly all of the bottom spots again.
Okay. I was nervous that Bullet Bill might let him off in that turn.
There's a golden mushroom out.
Don't know how much that's going to help him, though.
Stays on the map.
Now he's going to go flying right into this turn. And again, Siuslaw has first, second, and third.
We do also have a player in 8th place right now, which is not good for anyone.
4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Not great, but I think the first, second, and third is still going to be enough for Siuslaw to maintain their lead.
Let's see how much of a gap there is in the points after this race. Moving up to 61 to 95 on, I believe this is race 3 if I'm not mistaken. That is a really big point difference.
It would have to probably be perfect from here on out to make up that point differential.
It's definitely going to be a challenge for North Bend. But if they can clean up their item usages and their turns, it's definitely doable.
Yep.
It's a challenge for sure. Don't get me wrong on that. It is really hard to make a comeback like that, but it's definitely doable. Especially at the highest level of play in the state.
And we're going to Toad Harbor. Has a few hairpin turns, but isn't the twistiest track, but still has a little bit of a challenge to it.
This is another really solid stage in the base game. Not everyone talks about it enough, I feel like. It's fun. And we are off into race 4 of the second series. North Bend's kind of split up right now. the
player
player
taking first. Yoshi hits the wall though.
There's a red shell,
Yeah,
no
with a
defense
red
items.
shell too, yeah.
Gets the double.
DK takes the shortcut, breaks well through it, so he doesn't hit the wall. That was very well executed by him.
Doesn't go on the wall. Is it faster to go on the wall in this section?
No. Very few
Very much
exceptions
slower?
is it faster to go on the wall. It's just, overall, you just want to take the corner as tight as you can.
I need to adopt that strategy into my online
It's
matches.
fun to go on the wall, but it's just not going to work out.
DK barely misses the ramp, goes into the water.
That's the risk you do on taking the tugboat route, is someone can bump you off. It's such a narrow stretch.
North Bend occupying second, third, and fifth now. Finally occupying some of the higher spots in the race. So this is only lap 2. So everything can change. There's a red or blue shell thrown out. It's gonna land on one of the North Bend players, putting them back at 5th place.
Still in good positioning though, they're trailing, although that dry bones from Siuslaw building up a very big lead. Here we go into the final lap. The dry bones is relatively alone, so he can take that tugboat route without facing too many bad repercussions for it. Oh, the Donkey Kong takes the corner. Yeah, he messed up through those corners. That's going to cost him down to 6th. Miss one turn like that and you're severely punished.
Gets hit by the bullet bill and put down to 7th. Hits the wall again.
He got himself Mario Karted right
Yep,
there.
he did. Highest spot North Bend has right now is 3rd, which is not going to be enough to make up the point differential in the long run. So they've got
Need something here. It's all here, and a mushroom is not going to do it for them.
They need
They can cut the corner. That's all they can do. They'll take 2nd from that. But still, I mean, these 6th and 8th place finishes are just eating into any chance that North Bend has.
Another alternating finish there. One team taking the spot of everyone. And there's a
And now I think
point
mathematically
differential.
North Bend doesn't have a chance here.
117 to 78 is a really big gap. And yeah, 2 more races left if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if they can bring it back. As you're saying, I don't know if there's even enough points in the game to bring it back at this point.
But it's these very little moments, you know. Everyone talks about, you know, oh, you know, the blue shell's in there, and you got the bullet bill, and it's so wacky and crazy. Mario Kart isn't a competitive game because the items are so random. But we're seeing it's these little mistakes that's being made in the cornering. When you hit that wall, that's making them give up spots. That's really costing North. It's not just the items. It's really been a case of driving ability that's really been hurting North Bend. We head on into Shroom Ridge. Got a bit of traffic to deal with here. And another very twisty, turny stage. Roads are wide, but they are very twisty. We're going to run into traffic. That's not a good omen.
Still not nearly as bad as the old Moonview Highway, though.
No, nothing's going to top that.
That was... gives me shivers thinking about it.
But I mean, look at that. Like in the lower right corner in the past 10 seconds, the Larry, he had the glide and went out of bounds, and that put him from 1st to 8th.
You're going to see the Yoshi go off stage again.
It's those
Twice! No!
It's those mistakes. They cost you so much in terms of momentum.
Going for the booster in the middle of nowhere ends up not being the strategy. So we move on to lap 2. North Bend is occupying the majority of the bottom 4 spots, though they do have DK in 2nd place.
Only gets a banana there, but still in pretty good positioning. Takes 1st place. I'm looking at DK right now. He's got to dodge this traffic. Comes into one of the tightest hairpin turns of the game. Gets out of it with the full boost. Very well handled. He's going to hope only able to pick up 1 item box that opens up to a coin, and of course he'll get it.
Another coin as we move on to lap 3. North Bend occupying 1st and 4th in the top 4 spots, and 8th and
Nice.
6th.
Item. Oh, no, gets it. Oh, that's not what he
Bob-omb.
wanted. You can't really defend yourself well with the bob-omb. You got to throw it out at just the right time or else you'll get exploded when the shell hits. I dumped both of them and just take the new item boxes here. I do not know if I agree with that choice to hang up to the items. I would have dumped them.
Oh, barely misses a shell.
I mean,
but
he
loses
was
first
flirting.
place.
Had that green shell hit him, he would have exploded. And now Siuslaw has the lead. They're moving back around the hairpin turn. Doesn't manage to steal any item boxes here. This could be huge. If he lands some sort of red shell or a boost, is this going to be enough? I don't think so. Siuslaw still takes first.
That may be the final nail in the coffin. With 8th, 5th, 4th, and 2nd, I don't know if North Bend is going to be able to make up the point differential. Especially
No, this is Siuslaw all the way.
96 to 138, yeah. This is, unfortunately, it looks like this set is over, even though there is one more race left. Oh, I stand corrected.
So Siuslaw now puts one on the board.
All right, we're 1-1.
Everything is even keel. Again, it hasn't been the items. Let me say this one more time to everyone that thinks Mario Kart cannot be a competitive game because the items are so wacky. It hasn't been that that's been deciding this. It's every time North Bend goes out of bounds, every time they mess up a drift and hit the wall. Because each player is so closely bound together, those little mistakes are taking players from 1st to 8th. I mean, you've got to be on your A game with the driving, landing those drifts, landing the corners, and getting as good a time, a good race line you can on each of these tracks as possible.
Yeah, we've seen North Bend do good on stages that are generally more straight, but then when we get to maps like Yoshi Circuit, they don't have the turns down.
Yep.
So if the series continues with more curvy maps like this, which it seems like Siuslaw is picking, if they're picking, I'm not sure if it's
No,
random.
it's random.
It's random. Okay. If they keep getting unlucky with these stage picks, it's going to be a close call.
Yeah, I mean, we all love Mario. It has a lot of wacky items, and that's one of the reasons we love it. But it's still a racing game at the end of the day, so you got to have your basic driving mechanics down. We saw a little bit of a replay here, and Rosalia's Ice World was a great example of what we were saying. They were getting a lot of mushrooms in these back positions, but they're just not getting the corners quite right. And now they'll move in. Moonview Highway, here we go.
Boy.
Even if it's a difficulty nerf, it's still one of my favorites.
It's a great map. I have fond memories of playing this on the Wii.
Well, the second half of Moonview Highway is pretty straight, so they just got to deal with this first half, the narrow sections. Oh, almost clips the Bob-omb car. You're going to have to watch out for those. They're still hitting traffic. I mean, I said it's not as hard as it was on Wii, but still. Tight turns plus traffic, still some nasty surprises.
There it is. There's the Bob-omb car taking its first victim of the match.
Rounding the corner, going into lap 2, Siuslaw still maintaining 1st and 2nd place. But this is a position the North Bend has been in many times before. If they're in the middle of the pack, they can still get great items if they can time this right.
It looks like they're doing a lot of a better job of handling their turns.
Yeah, as soon as Yoshi runs
traffic.
right into traffic. Yeah, no! That is such a blind turn. You cannot take that completely blind. It's one of those things, yeah, you lose a few seconds taking it wider, but you gotta still keep your options open is what I'm saying.
You gotta respect the traffic. All right, it's Star.
I'm looking at the villager now. He's in 1st place. We'll also see if any sort of blue shell is brought out onto the field as we're heading into the final lap. Star's pretty good. You don't have to worry about traffic once you use it. You use that, yeah, knock that car out of the way. Showed who's boss. Another star. This is great for that villager. Use it, yeah, get the double items. You got to take this corner. It's going to be okay.
Barely stays on the map.
And 3 red shells, that's huge. If he can get this out in the start, he's gotten really good items here.
And another star. That's 3.
It's great, but Siuslaw, I mean, they're using their defensive items well. They're still maintaining 1st and 2nd place. He runs right through the Bob-omb car. I love it. They have 2 bullet bills, but that's not going to put them into a scoring position. 3rd and 4th. Oh, North Bend they have to get past 5th and 6th. They got to take either one of those. 6th and 8th is not going to do it for them, and they can't. Siuslaw is going to still come ahead in terms of scoring.
It looks to me like North Bend has definitely cleaned up their turns and item usage just a little bit. but they're still running into traffic. They're still hitting walls. They've clipped guardrails several times this map. Barely, I saw the villager with a star barely stay on stage because he hit the guardrail on this map. So they've just got to be more careful.
I'm gonna take a page out of Artie's book, Artemis Rain, one of our casters, whenever we're playing Valorant. Check your angles. For here, it's gonna be make those corners because that's
Dolphin Shoals!
you love to see it.
Oh, okay. I personally, I play saxophone. It's one of my hobbies.
Oh yeah,
So-
that lick.
I'm such a big fan of this map just for that reason.
The Dolphin Shoals lick. I mean,
I have that thing memorized. I could probably, if I had my saxophone here, I could
you
probably
should
play
bring it.
it.
Yeah, if we did.
Oh, such a good stage. I'm so sad they cut out the extended solo in the in-game version of the song.
Just go into the replay. I mean, here we go. Much better start for North Bend. First, second, and third. This is great for them. Moving on into the section.
Yoshi hits the wall, landing in 7th place. So yeah, it's just got to stop hitting the walls, clean up your turns a little bit better. They've already done a great job cleaning up turns from the previous map. Hasn't been a shutout like it was last series quite yet, but still, North Bend is just hitting walls.
But no, they are still competing for first. Yoshi has taken it. Gets hit right off the bat. Yeah, I'd spend that Super Horn too, Donkey Kong. That's going to do nothing for you in 8th place. Great item, but just it's situational. A lot more mushrooms for them. Down in the corner.
Yoshi with the triple mushroom.
None of them can afford really to go down into the ditch right now.
Another triple mushroom on Larry here. Maybe getting a little bit of a better position with that, hopefully, maybe. That's where the solo would have started. I missed it.
I know.
I missed it.
I know. Still great to hear, though.
It's
Just
so
hearing
good.
a section of it is a treat.
Absolutely.
Okay, very crucial. Can they get the offensive items they need to dislodge Siuslaw from 1st and 2nd place?
They've secured the middle of the pack.
Getting
Now
all
the villager
mushrooms.
is
Nope.
villager. falls
Oh,
apart.
and that villager, that's going to cost him. That might have done it right there. Heading back, he'll get pushed back to 6th. Got to pray to their lucky stars, and they're still just getting all mushrooms.
There's a blue shell.
The game is not going to say no. I'm not going to give you a highlight reel moment. Blue shell, yeah, goes on to 3rd. In case you're wondering why that blue shell went on into 3rd, that's because Siuslaw got that blue shell. So it goes on to the person in 1st on the other team if you use it. And yeah, another showing 3rd, 4th, not too bad. Clean it up a little, but it's that 6th. Whoever's in 6th, 7th, or 8th is sinking their team.
And that is going to carry over into the point distribution right now, where it is 48-30 in favor of Siuslaw right now. So, again, North Bend has another mountain to climb. Though this time, maybe if they clean up their turns, please clean up your turns, guys. Maybe they can bring it back. I would love to see it, but it's looking a little grim going into the fourth race.
One of the things we've seen North Bend kind of struggle with has been traffic. And you know, I'd say we move beyond puny cars in terms of traffic. Let's bring out the trains and go to Super Bell Subway.
That would be amazing. That's another... I'm bringing up the soundtrack too much, but that's a really amazing song again. Mario Kart music just does not miss.
But we're going to go back to basics here with Mario Kart Stadium. Much simpler track. Could be an opening here.
All right. I better not see anyone hit any walls.
No. These roads are so wide, you shouldn't.
All right, North Bend's picking up some of the top spots. They've got 1st, 4th, and 5th. Not bad, not bad.
This is the one corner I think you could clip if they're not taking them well. 1st place does it well. 4th, okay, we're looking all good through there. Nice job.
All right,
Now,
they've secured the top 3 spots.
here's the thing, is they don't want to use these mushrooms as soon as they get them. There are some good, the final left turn here is a great place to use a mushroom. There's also the cut of the 2nd item box row that you can take. If you're Don't use those mushrooms as soon as you get them. You know, be strategic with them.
For sure. And coming into this turn, all 3 of the top spots, all 4 of the players have a red shell in the bank, no longer DK.
That's very nice protection. Not only does it save you, but if you get past, that's a quick way to take your spot back. The only one who needs to hit good items here is in second place, Yoshi. He'll pick up a double. And usually, okay, yeah, it does guarantee. It guarantees you 1 defensive item, which is the thing I like about the double item boxes in Deluxe. You usually have to go out of your way, take kind of a subpar line to get them, but if you're in first place, the double item box usually guarantees you at least 1 shell or banana for defense. So they're very important in that regard.
And it looks like North Bend did end up getting a blue shell recently. Yoshi has fallen back to 8th place with Villager in first and Larry in third right now.
He could take it back. Oh man, what's this final item's gonna be? Oh, he gets the double taken away from him in the last moment. Best he can hope for, he's gotta cut the corner. He's gotta cut the corner, but the others did too. He'll still be saddled with 8th.
Larry ends up landing a shell, saving the 3rd place spot instead of 4th at the very end of that race.
Not enough. Siuslaw is going to have their lead get even larger. They'll move up to... Oh, no. They had an 18-point lead. They're now down to a 15-point lead.
I smell a comeback. Maybe. It'd be nice. It'd be nice to see some more close games instead of an absolute shutout again. And it looks like it may be looking that way.
You look at this moment here, the Villager was tempting fate. That's what he just managed to snake first, but that is a risky move, going for that cut when you don't have a mushroom, but he pulled it off just right.
It's Excite Bike again.
You know, maybe I would like to see Baby Park just in terms of Excite Bike 2 times.
Excite Bike isn't very exciting, though.
No.
It's in the name.
Boring bike.
Kind of a misnomer there.
All right, let's see what we got here.
I'm hoping for no more stage repeats in the rest of this, but we may not be that fortunate.
We've got 96 stages to choose from, come on.
We still haven't seen any Mount Wario. What's up with that?
Yeah, that is true. I mean, basically, with 96 stages, you kind of got a 1% chance, roughly, you know, maybe 1.2, 1.3% chance of your favorite stage showing up.
I'll take it. As long as we don't see any. That means we have a 1.2% chance of seeing Baby Park, which I like those odds.
I still haven't seen any of my favorites be brought into this. We've seen some good ones, Maple Tree. Well, I count Moonview Highway. Okay, I've been a little bit luckier than you have.
A little bit.
But I'd love
souls.
to see, I'm going to be with you, I'd love to see a Mount Wario. I'd love to see a Vancouver. I love Vancouver. I think that's one of the best city tracks. London's also pretty fun too, just because it's so wacky.
The city tracks are surprisingly fun in this game. I'm a fan of nearly all of them.
I also mentioned at the beginning Yoshi's Island.
I would love to see that one as well. Donkey Kong has secured first place right now.
He's also got that shell to protect him. Oh, he's looking back. I would have swerved left there. You've got that shell there. You could have used that offensively or tossed it back. Sometimes the nastiest surprise you can have in Mario Kart is when someone throws the green shell behind you. And yeah, see, now he won't even get to use it at all. He hits the bomb.
Bend is kind of rounding out the lower spots in the game right now. So they do have 4th and 2nd. They do have players in position to get those power items, which can make a giant impact on the course of the race.
Okay, this Larry, he has to finish. He takes first, and he gets the red shell. That's huge news. But can the rest of his team pull through, take second? And if they can get 5th, 6th, 4th, that's going to do it. That's the kind of finish they needed, and they know it.
We get a little bit of a pop-off in the camera right now. Moving
I got
Larry
15
and
points to make up, but that's going
to...
to... Oh, they tied it up in one foul swoop.
Right.
We got a match on our hands.
It's going to come down to these last, is it 2 more, I believe, if I'm not mistaken?
But again,
2 or
it's
3?
been based on how twisty is the stage. Because they got 2 really good draws. They got Mario Kart and Stadium and Excite Bike. I don't know. If a Neo Bowser City comes up, they are crying. Or a Grumble Volcano, that's also nasty. Dallin, this one's for you. We're seeing Grumble Volcano. One of our production members, Dallin, absolutely loathes Grumble Volcano because it was the one stage that he could not get that certain time trial achievement on that kept him from unlocking the full roster.
It's certainly a challenge.
Which just because he hates it so much gives me a sort of twisted joy every time I see it now.
It's a little funny. Predictions on how many people are going to fall into the lava?
There's going to be some. There's going to be some. I can give you that. So I can't give you much more than that. But a lot of hairpin turns here as we get to the first section. Villager taking the early lead, though hits the off-road a little bit, that will send him back. The rest of this team is coming in clutch, first and second. There are a lot of turns here, though, but they are pretty wide, even when the stage starts to... Oh, no! He hits the side of the ramp, goes into the lava. That sends him back to 8th place.
Still has a red shell and a coin, which is not the best item in these lower spots, especially at the very back of the pack. Gets back into 5th place. DK's in 2nd, though the rest of the team is rounding out some of those low positions. They've got 6th, 5th, and 7th.
Siuslaw maintaining first. This Larry and Villager have to be very dependable here. They cannot go off track here. They'll fall too far behind.
Okay, is going to run into a bomb, which is going to send him back to 3rd, 4th.
Okay, if they're going to sandbag here, they got to go for that strategy full tilt. Got to make sure they don't take a bad bounce. Oh my goodness, what timing on that red shell! Right as his glider was coming out. That was beautiful from Siuslaw.
That is going to send Donkey Kong back to 6th, Yoshi in 7th, and Larry at 5th. 4th now. So they're still holding on to some of those lower positions. So Siuslaw does have 8th place and 1st place. So putting
everything and nothing at the same time.
Putting North Bend kind of in the middle of the pack right now.
This is the real wild card, 3rd lap. So much the stage is falling the way. Donkey Kong, you cannot go off the stage like that!
Oh, he barely stayed on.
Okay, this Larry, he's kind of in a sleeper position. I like this Larry here. He's got 2 red shells, but again, he's hitting those dirt patches. Okay, Villager's gone into 3rd place, doesn't have any items. Needs to land a good one here. It's going to go for the double. Doesn't land it. That's huge. He went out of his way for the double and isn't going to get it. He can still take the shortcut here. He doesn't know about it, though. That shortcut could have gotten him first. Oh, there's a shortcut you can take right on the final right turn of Grumble Volcano. There's even a little bit of a ramp there, too. You mushroom through that. You cut the whole corner. Had he known about that. Had he known about that.
They're going to get in the lead, though. They're at 99 to 96. So they're even though they didn't get first, it's enough to put them barely in the lead.
I'm still going to die on my hill, though. Dallin, this is why you should, be more accepting of Grumble Volcano. You'll learn more about the shortcuts that way, and then maybe you won't hate the stage so much. Anyway, we were saying.
So North Bend has finally gotten a little bit of a lead over Siuslaw since the first match they won. So as long as they get some more relatively straightforward stages, they should be looking good.
Royal Raceway is pretty darn straightforward. There are a few hairpins here, though.
Once again,
I gotta say, in terms of most improved courses, this is up there. I mean, they did such a beautiful job on the remaster for Royal.
It is definitely a very visually stunning course. It's fun to play too.
There they go. And you're going to be heading up to the first item boxes very soon. We'll see what each player gets. And again, that Yoshi, he's clipping the grass again. We're seeing these players just hit break every now and then. It will help you. It's there for a reason.
Yoshi gets a double item box. 2 mushrooms. Just what you want.
DK currently the best of North Bend in 3rd. Ooh, was flirting with disaster with that red shell. Nice pickup of the double. Still stays on. That was a very narrow race line he had to held, so I got to shout him out for that. That was very well executed.
Goes across the grass and has a red shell now.
Looking for the right time to use that red shell.
There it
Spots
is.
it. Takes
Gets
first.
Gets a coin. All right. That's a recipe for disaster right there as he gets hit by the red shell and the super horn. Falling all the way down to 7th
Yeah,
place.
if there's a time where it's kind of risky to take first, it is around that first item box set because they're rolling no doubles no matter what stage it's on. No double item boxes on the first set. Star is all right. I wouldn't spend the mushrooms here because this next section coming up is so perfect for the speed boost. You can cut every single corner here. But he's taking the corners too. He'll cut this last corner because that's the most, so he can get that. But he could have cut.
Uses another mushroom to get back into 4th. Gets a triple red shell.
That's a really good item to get. Take out a Fizz. Around the corner.
There's
nice
a
use of the Piranha Plant.
Has a purple boost.
This is good for them. They've got the mid, 2nd through 5th.
Even if they give up first place in this position, they'll still get more overall points.
They've won many rounds using this positioning beforehand.
Approaching the final few turns.
Don't know if I would have used that star there. You're already going to get the speed boost from those dashes. I would have wanted the star as insurance for any last-minute items that come out right now. Like another player's star, or no, yeah. But, oh,
Third,
they
second,
managed
and
to get
fourth.
it. That's what they needed to do. They got it. They got it. Oh, my goodness. It has been such a rocky road. But North Bend will take the lead, an even bigger lead now, 122 to 112.
We got a capture taken.
Yeah, you got
to savor the
gotta
moment.
cement it. Oh, my God.
All right. They've won that set now. It is 2-1 North Bend.
Yep. Also, this is one thing I like about Mario Kart is this. So many of the esports we cast, it's 1 to 3, it's 3 to 1, it's one. I just like a simple brain, simple animal brain. I like big numbers. I like saying it's 175 to 78.
Yeah, that's another reason I like Smash Bros. Because even if it's not the score, the percentages are just fun to say sometimes, especially if you see, like we saw earlier, someone got up to like 200%. So I definitely understand loving the big numbers.
They're never going to beat pinball in that regard, though. Pinball is the only one where you can just launch the flipper and instantly score 10 million points.
This is true. Pinball's pretty fun. It's funny. My uncle in Michigan loves collecting old pinball machines, so it's always a treat when I get to go visit. I've got some really funny ones. I think he's a creature from the Black Lagoon.
Oh, that's a classic. That's from '93, I believe.
It's pretty fun.
I'm a bit of a pinball enthusiast myself, so I'm going to know what you're mentioning here. Yeah, Creature from the Black Lagoon, that has one of the greatest. I love Move Your Car. That's just, I always shout along to it.
Move your car.
Move your car! Yeah, see, he knows what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. I've spent many hours behind the Creature from the Black Lagoon pinball machine, so racking up the big numbers. But now in our Mario Kart set, North Bend has made a bit of a return.
Yes, they have. But it's this. I'd like to see them clean up their handling so they're not so dependent on what stage they draw. And London, look at London. There's a lot of curves on London. But hey, this is one I requested. There aren't so many that I requested, though. I'm wanting you to get Mount Wario.
I need Mount Wario, please. It would be absolutely perfect if Mount Wario is the last stage we end up playing on today. But I can only dream. I don't know if I'll be that lucky today. But you did get your Moonview Highway, and we haven't seen Baby Park, so there's a chance.
Around the horn we go. In the final corner, got a bit of a pesky fight for first place. Nice pickup, though, by Villager. He'll get that in a red shell. Nice defense. Nice spotting. Oh, his red shell stolen away by the Boo exactly when the super horn goes off. That's great coordination by Siuslaw.
North Bend has secured some of the top few spots. They've got 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, with DK rounding it out in 8th. DK gets a triple mushroom and a star, though, which he uses to get back into 6th place while his teammates hold the top spot.
Fairly good positioning, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
He has both second and third place have a super horn. Well, Villager uses a super horn, maintaining second place going into lap 3 of this race. North Bend has second, third, fourth, and sixth right now, so they've rounded out the middle of the pack. And as long as they can hold these positions, they should stay ahead.
Although somebody called the local constable. It seems we've got some chain chomps in the Thames. I always like that little thing, seeing the chain chomp going from everyone. So such a great.
DK gets a triple green shell and a boomer.
Is those thing Buzz, excuse me, still in the first place. Around the corner, oh, great item, wrong time to get it, Super Horn. He does get the red shell, but Siuslaw has the defense. They'll still hold on to first, but pretty good positioning, second, third, fifth, although that's seventh, I think. Fourth. Much better finishing, that's what they needed.
Second, third, fourth,
that's how
and
they
fifth.
win it, yep.
All right, so they've secured a little bit of a lead over Siuslaw right now.
We'll put them into a comfortable lead. I say comfortable lead, but
Nothing's ever comfortable in Mario Kart.
no.
Everything can change so fast. But that's why we love Mario Kart. It's a lot different from every other game we play, where everything can change in an instant. So it's a little bit of a treat.
Oh, Siuslaw's using tilt controls.
I like it.
I always like that, man. I'm using tilt controls. For people who don't want the days of Mario Kart Wii to die, I'm gonna still use tilt controls no matter what I do.
It's funny, I still have a couple of the old Wii wheels left over from the Wii days. Sometimes I'll break them out. It's always fun.
Best $20 I spent on a piece of plastic.
You couldn't be more right.
Okay, we're gonna go to Toad Circuit. This is a very simple stage here, so not too much in terms of corners. We're gonna be done with this one in like a minute or two. This is a very short track.
Brooklyn has been getting a little bit lucky with these stage picks. They've just been getting easy course after easy course. We haven't seen anything like Neo Bowser City yet. Two players getting the purple boots there off that first corner. They've got second and first and
This is the
fourth
best start
and
I've
fifth.
seen them up to, first and second.
They've definitely taken the win out of Siuslaw's sail at this point.
Basically in the first half of the pack. You know, we talk about Neo Bowser City, but you know what? Mount Wario would be another one that would really be a wrench in this kind of simple track plan.
Especially the tree section. That one still trips me up to this day. And I must have played that course a million times. Still maintaining first and second places. Things are looking solid for North Bend right now.
Although this Donkey Kong doesn't have any defense. Yeah, he only gets the mushroom though, so he's still open. Siuslaw does have third, so yeah, that can allow them to get a little bit of a toehold there, and now they have first and second. Final lap though. Red Shell's gotten but a lot of mushrooms. Nothing really to take away that first place right now.
Excuse me. North Bend has moved back to the middle of the pack. We got third, fifth, second, and sixth. So they're a little bit split up, but they're still securing some of those higher spots. Should put them in a good position.
Oh, nice turn of events here around the final corner. They take first and second. This Yoshi, okay, he'll be able to take fourth and fifth. That's a good finish. That is really good for North Bend.
If we're going to give them even more of a lead in terms of points here, as we see the score is going up to 50-28 in favor of North Bend this time.
So 22-point lead. And we saw 15 points can be made back in one round with a really good finish. So one more might be kind of their prime comfort zone. All right, what does fate have for us this time?
I'm using tilt controls. Fingers are crossed.
Oh, it's N64 Rainbow Road again.
We've had two repeats.
Yeah,
and
we
no
have.
Mount Wario. What is happening? I want my Mount Wario.
That's the trade-off. You didn't see any Steve during Smash, so you don't get to see any Mount Wario. It's just karma has to even out.
Was it worth it?
Yeah,
I don't
still
know.
worth it to avoid Steve. Let's be honest.
Okay, that's fair. That's true. That's true. You've still gotten lucky enough to avoid Baby Park.
Yeah,
So-
that's good too. No Steve, no Baby Park, I'm good. Again, probably one of the shortest tracks because it is only one lap. And a lot of the turns here are really wide, very wide road to work with. Wouldn't be too concerned if I'm North Bend.
Should be pretty comfortable. They secured second, first, and third already.
Oh, what a slip up by that villager. He messes up the drift and will get punished severely. Down to sixth place.
Now they're sitting in some of those lower spots. They've got 6 and 8. Still holding on to fourth and first, though that is not going to be enough to comfortably maintain their lead over Siuslaw right now.
Oh, what are you doing, Yoshi? You are flirting with that edge way too much for my taste.
DK nearly a pixel off of hitting the chain chomp there. So he does activate the start and gets back into still 8th place, I guess.
Okay, Larry is holding on. He's kind of an anchor for the team. He's trying to get that 15 points that first place gets.
No
you.
coins.
No, that's huge. He gets 2 defensive items around the very end,
Huge
but the rest of the
luck.
team has to pick it up. They can't finish with 6 and 7. First
This is
place
gonna
will
be-
go a long
Oh
way.
no!
though.
He still gets first. Gets the hit, but still maintains first place. Villager taking third, and
I think that's going to be enough. They'll still stay in the lead.
they should definitely still stay in the lead. Though it is not going to be very comfortable right now for North Bend.
I think the status quo still maintains here, yeah.
71-46.
Yeah,
So
they're
still
still
a
in the
decent
20s.
lead.
Still in the 20s. They up their lead by a few points. Very good showing off of the Larry to be able to maintain first. That 15 points, just so important for your team.
Definitely, and still
Okay.
getting lucky with
and
these
there's
horses.
still a chance for a certain stage to appear. Paris. Okay. Not that bad.
Okay. Also a solid stage. Not personally one of my favorites ever, but it's still good. All right, we're heading into race number 4. Siuslaw is definitely going to need to pick it up a little bit if they want to come back from the point deficit they're in right now.
I heard a bit of a backfire on one of those starts. It's not the way you're going to start out. Looking at opening items, some nice red shells for North Bend.
They are starting out in some of those lower positions. However, they do have first and third.
A lot of long straightaways on Paris, especially this first one. Wide turns as well. The city courses is one of the easier ones.
So they should be in a pretty good position to maintain their point lead heading into the next race, hopefully, as long as they can maintain some of those, at least some of the middle of the pack. They've got third and fifth right now, but they also do have first place, which is a massive amount of
Yeah, it's
points.
been Larry holding down this first place. He did it on Rainbow Road. Can he do it on Paris? Nice cornering around the roundabout. And gets 2 shells. That's beautiful. If you're first place, you're sitting pretty.
Larry has definitely been getting a little lucky with these defensive items right now.
Yes,
Even in the last race.
I'm the type of person who will go into Paris like the tourist I am and use the term purdy.
Larry finally gets a coin.
I don't care what sort of special they have in those fancy restaurants. I'm always going to ask, can I have fries with that? I'm from Idaho. You got to have the potatoes.
It's true.
With fry sauce. I don't care if we're in Paris. If you don't have fry sauce, you're wrong.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one, man. I'm not a fan of fry sauce. I do respect people that like it. It's
Okay.
just not for me.
Fair enough. Now we go into the section where oncoming traffic can happen, but teams so tightly grouped together. Trying to take
DK
the
eliminates
alternate
a
route.
blue
Oh,
shell.
but Larry blows it on the alternate route there. He runs right in, and he's already down to second. It is a teammate, though, who took first, so nothing too bad.
First, second, third,
I
and
tossed that bomb
eighth.
behind you, though. It's a good chance that it might hit somebody. Yeah, get a better item, get the banana. That's good. Well played. Well played.
Yoshi moving
First
back
and
in
second.
sixth place.
Yeah, Donkey Kong, as long as you finish fourth. Yoshi, I want you to get into fifth, but sixth will do. Can't do 8th. No, we can't see 8th. That's only 1 point.
7th. Okay.
Okay.
Yoshi barely. Oh.
So that's 2 points. Nah, that'll hurt them, those last few. Not enough, though. I mean, first and second, as long as they keep getting first and second, they'll maintain their lead.
It is 92 to 64 right now. So they're pretty comfortable.
Yep.
There's still opportunity, I believe, for Siuslaw to make this back up.
All right. Throw it to RNG yet again.
Fingers crossed. Mount Wario, please. Please, Nintendo, give me Mount Wario.
Electrodrome,
Okay,
I'll take it. That's
okay.
one of my favorites.
All right.
I'm feeling way too spoiled. I'm getting all of my favorites here.
It's a solid stage. I'm a fan of this one. It's fun. It's a really fun stage.
Has a lot of turns.
It does.
Very
So,
twisty. So.
there is an opportunity
And there is
for
a very
Siuslaw.
narrow stretch in it. When it splits in two, those roads are so narrow. I'm going to be watching to see if they can corner around them well enough.
So Siuslaw definitely has an opportunity to make a little bit of a comeback here. Oh, it's looking a little grim for them. The point lead that North Bend has right now is fairly large, so it's not insurmountable.
Okay, here we go. Here's our first. We're coming up on it. This is our first indicator of how things are going to be going. Go for the double item boxes. Managing to quarter well so far in the first track, so nice showing to start off.
DK hits
Although
the
Donkey
wall.
Kong, he's already going into the walls.
Three players took the pink route and only one took the green.
Yeah, pink
fun.
route. I usually take the pink route.
Is
Well,
it faster?
I think it is just a tad bit faster. Don't quote me on that.
North Bend is going to secure second and third and fourth for the time being. Solidly in the middle of the pack. The DK is the outlier in 7th place, now 6th. Okay.
Yeah, he's got to make sure he doesn't hit the sides of the wall as he goes through into pink or green. Most of them going for pink,
Does hit the booster.
which is fine. You want to hit that.
Oh.
A little shaky through. Okay, he's managed to recover. I use that star. Wow, he's holding on to it.
There goes.
Wouldn't have used it there. I mean, yeah, he can cut here, but he could have already done that with the mushroom.
Hits the pipe. That's
He's
unfortunate.
still all right. But I would use that star right away. I mean, if you're in that narrow section of road, you are a landmine for every other player there.
Moving on to the final lap of this race. North Bend is sitting in second, third, and fourth, so they've
That's all they
secured
need.
the middle of the pack. They should be pretty comfortable right now. So
Now the Donkey Kong, he's in the walls. He's in there once. There again, yeah, okay, he's fine. He's through. So one, oh, they're also bunched up. Second, third, and fourth. That's all they need. That's all they need.
he gets a red shell. Larry
Cut
has
through.
the mushroom.
Oh,
to
he's
the
got to
front
hold
line.
on to it, though. There's a red shell behind him. He'll get through that. They get first. They steal first.
Oh my goodness.
That's huge.
First,
That's what they
third,
needed.
Fourth, and sixth.
That's a good finish. That's a good finish. Their lead's going to get even more substantial now. 116 to 79.
It's a big gap in points.
Now, am I mistaken, or do we have one more race left?
We do have one more, it looks like. One more chance.
The final stage of destiny.
Give me Mount Wario RNG, please.
It's going to be Baby Park.
Don't say it. Don't say it. All right. Okay. It's not Baby Park, so it's better than nothing.
It's Riverside. It's a park. It's still a park.
That
No,
is
I
true.
like Riverside. Riverside's pretty cool.
It's fun.
It's
yeah.
simple, but cool.
It is pretty simple. Though that is kind of what North Bend needs right now.
Yep.
A nice, simple race to close out this set. And
Yep. And it's not a duplicate, so at least I
it's-
can say that.
That is also true. If they win this, they win the state championship, I believe.
Yeah, this is for all the marbles. I think they're at such a big lead. Even if they completely flub this, I don't think they're out.
They can definitely afford to give up the first place spot at the very least. They just need to be solid in the middle. That's all they need right now. And the series is theirs.
Pretty good start, first and second, although the other two players are bringing up the last two positions, so it's a bit of a 50-50.
Okay, hitting balls again. He does have a red shell. Hopefully he can put that to some good use.
Always the
Lands
risk
a
you
hit.
have running a heavy character, added cornering.
North Bend is in first, sixth, fifth, and eighth. They need to work a little harder, maybe get some of those middle of the pack spots, but they, as long as they have one or more of those higher positions.
DK with that golden mushroom, not really the power up you want to give. Very hard to corner with all that speed.
Been more of a curse than a
But
blessing.
hey, he's gotten into third with it, so shutting my mouth.
Uses the bob bomb, doesn't quite catch anyone. But now they are sitting more comfortable with first and third under the belts right now, and fifth and sixth as well. So they've secured, at least for now, on this lap 3, though everything can change. Everything can change
They
in a
got such a
heartbeat.
huge lead that I think even if things were to go as wrong as they possibly could, even if they were to roll a 0 on everything, I still think they're good.
Potentially, sitting in first and second is
DK
always
taking
solid.
first, nice job. Yep, that's
All
gonna
right.
do it. They've got it. They have so got this.
Got first, third, fourth, and seventh. That's probably gonna do it for North Bend. There's the pop-off. You love to see it.
I can't help but think there might have been a little bit of acting for the camera there. I'm not sure.
Maybe
They
just
did
maybe
know
just a little
about
bit.
their win.
maybe just a little bit.
Oh, sure. They had a 30-point lead going into the final race. They take first, third, and fourth. Gee, I wonder who's going to win.
It's a mystery. No, but in all reality, congratulations.
No, congratulations. You did,
Congratulations.
and you did clean up. You clean up their cornering. There were some moments. I mean, DK especially. I mean, just having that heavy character makes it difficult to make corners, but really came out in Riverside Park. Got first for the team. Nice job. North Bend picks up both Smash and Mario Kart, the Nintendo champions, if you will.
Congratulations. They're very clearly a Nintendo-oriented school and an esports-oriented school with both of these state championships now under their belt.
It's a very good showing, and I think we did so many races, I can only think we have so many highlights to bring out. So I want to get to that as soon as possible. We'll leave you with some highlights from that last match. And again, congratulations to North Bend. Really moving into it. They've been saving everything up, bringing out the stars, bringing out the bullet bill as we round the final turn.
There's a
Silverton
lightning.
and a lightning for good measure as Cordy flattens them all.
Yeah,
and
on
it's
the
our
return.
boomerang, yeah, lands it. And it's hit Siuslaw again, too. That I normally don't get that much mileage on the boomerang, but it sure worked out. Oh, the banana and the glide. What a play. I mean, he's in 8th place, so it doesn't really work out. High five, come on. We're counting on you. Hey! There you go.
Let's go. 2 players went for it.
Fan
You
of
love to
culture,
see it.
I see. All right.
Hopefully they can make a comeback by using some of their stronger items.
We saw, but it doesn't look like too much shakes from North Bend. They claim